But boys and girls, this is Ash or Ashera. How do you say your name properly?
Ashera, you said it perfectly.
Yeah, see, I've been taught well. And she is, as Dave was going to come on, but then he wasn't going to come on. Dave has called her the Queen of Agricole. So she's got a title, a hell of a title to live up to tonight.
It's a strong one.
I might do this one. There we go. That's a bit better. I think we like that one. So, boys and girls, this is Ash. I'll cut what I'll do, Ash, for you. I'll cut the stream so it starts literally right here, so we can go into this. So you guys can, the Spiribam guys can sort of jump in there. If you've got any agricole questions at all, dive them into the comments. Anything you want to know. If she doesn't know, I'm sure she'll make it up like I normally do. So all is fine. You'll be none the wiser. It'll be cool. But Ash, introduce yourself. What do you do? What's your love of agricole? Give us a brief backstory.
So I am the London account manager for Spiribam UK. My background started really in the Beachcomber Tiki Bar, the House of Agricole. I was there for a good 6 years. So I've been in the industry for 8 years now, maybe a little bit more. But that's where my love pretty much started. So in 2014, we flipped the bar from being molasses heavy to agricole. Not just agricole, we do have molasses as well, but we probably have the most agricole in the UK on the back bar at the moment. So we try and
where's that? Sorry, say that again. Where's that? I know where it is.
Beachcomber, that's in London, in Queensway, so central London.
Nice.
So
I feel everyone's going to love agricole tonight, so I feel an outing to Beachcomber after this. Yeah. So
yes, get down. Some of the cocktails on the menu. I'm sure you'll enjoy some different expressions in there as well.
Yeah.
But yes, that's pretty much how it started. Sugarcane, rums, and agricole journey happened there, and since 2014, and now I'm banging Spiribam, where we look after Rhum Clement. So it's perfect, full circle.
So were you at the bar before they went sugarcane heavy?
Yes.
So what was that like?
Well, I'd started there only maybe 4 months prior. I started as a waitress, worked my way up. I was studying in university. I was doing 2 jobs, worked in a camping store and started waitressing, and then worked my way up to head bartender and then GM.
Wow.
It was a bit of a journey. I mean, going from molasses, I was only there for 4 months. I was already just starting to learn about rum, and then flipping to agricole was a whole new ball game, and it was a big risk, but it seems to have paid off now.
Was it just agricole, or was it sugarcane? I know there's a difference. We'll get onto that a bit later.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So it's sugarcane rums from pretty much all around the world. So Haiti, Mauritius.
Wow.
But then, yes, very much concentrated on rum agricole from Martinique. But you'll find things from Guadeloupe as well. So pretty much a whole region of sugarcane is there on the back bar.
Do you know what? I never realised Beachcomber was just sugarcane. Never cottoned on to that.
Yeah. If you go visit, if you look at the back bar now, you'll spot it. You'll see all of them, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I can see a question from Geraint, and I'm going to ask Geraint a question as well. I'll put that on screen so you can get ready to answer that in a second, Ash. Geraint, have you ever been to Beachcomber, being the resident agricole king in the house? And you can answer that question, Ash. Let's just get that one out of the way before we start. We can have the banter.
So tiponche, you wouldn't usually have ice because ice will dilute the rum, and really we want to showcase it. So when you have a tiponche, for those of you who don't know, it would be a bit of lime. Actually, in fact, I got it kind of pre-prepared. So you'd have a disc like this. We've got the skin, the juice. Then we would have either cane syrup or demerara sugar. And then we'd add, traditionally, a white agricole. So in this case, we have Clement Blanc. Fantastic, look at that.
I've still got one left.
Generally, it would be served without ice. If you do go to Martinique, they will provide it, but you'll notice it will just dilute within 20 seconds. So it's pretty futile, and it's best served without. Wow.
So I can see the questions piling in. I know this lot are going to have a ton of questions because agricole is just something we just don't cover. Have you? I'm assuming you do this quite often. Have you got kind of like a format, like a route to go with this, or do you want how do you want to do? Do you want to guide people through? Because I know the obvious basic thing to start with is the difference between molasses and sugar. I think that needs to be cleared up before we do anything else.
Definitely. I think we should start with that because that will give a kind of clear understanding between the differences. So Rhum Agricole is made in Martinique specifically. And now this is because they have an AOC. It is also made from sugarcane juice and not molasses. So now you're going to obtain completely different flavors, completely different to what you expect from a molasses style rum. Sugarcane is a variety of grass. So do get ready because it's going to be very vegetal, very floral as well. But this AOC is really, really quite impressive because any other sugarcane rum from around the world won't have it. It is only in Martinique. AOC is Appellation d'origine contrôlée. It's wonderfully French, and I hope I pronounced that properly, but it is essentially a regulation, and it's like a Bible of rules of how the sugarcane is plotted, how the different variations of sugarcane that's used, how it's fermented, right up to distillation and then even bottling. So that's where it stands out versus other sugarcane rums. But as standing next to other rums, it will have a very different finish. So very vegetal.
Wow. So essentially sugarcane is pressed from, sugarcane juice is the pressed juice from the cane.
Yeah.
Whereas
so they'll press the juice.
Whereas molasses is kind of like the byproduct from making sugar.
Exactly, sugar. Essentially.
Sugar. Exactly. I was trying to think of what to show people there. So that's the big, huge difference. It's like there's a whole load of different stages. That's about as far as my knowledge goes. But there's a whole load of different stages to get molasses compared to sugar cane juice.
Indeed, yeah. You have to cook down sugar to get your byproduct molasses, and then you'll find different islands also trade or buy and sell. So there's a load of different steps that way. Whereas when you're making a Rhum Agricole, it's pretty much straight from the cane to the mills, fermentation, distillation, straight to the bottle. So it's as fresh as you're pretty much going to get.
Wow. You've been over there quite a few times, haven't you?
I've only been once. I went for the Tea Cup. Yeah, I hope to go again.
I love how you say, I'm just chavvy, I'll call it tea punch. See again?
Yeah, you can say tea punch.
Tea punch. How'd you say it? Tea punch. There you go, Geraint, that's for you. Tea punch. There was one more question that I thought I saw. Oh yeah, there's going to be some politics. We don't care about all that sort of stuff. Basically, they're asking. We've got some husk here from Australia, and they want to know how that's called agricole.
Yeah, I mean that's a bit cheeky.
We chat about that in Discord quite a bit. But
no. So it's a good question because you'll find, for example, a Haitian rum will be called a clarin. In Brazil, a sugarcane rum is called a cachaça, and in Martinique, it's called a Rhum Agricole. But we'll definitely have to look into the husk and see how they manage to get away with that.
We've stitched them up. So before we get in there, is there, because I've obviously had some cachaça in the past, but is there a notable difference between cachaça, agricole, and clarin? Like, will you taste it quite obviously, even for a newbie?
So you'll find there's different terroirs, so different regions. Terroirs, essentially the flavor nuances that you obtain from the atmosphere or the environment around you. So, for example, Rhum Clement is made in Le François, which is the southeast of Martinique, and what you'll find is a lower plain. So it being a lower plain, there's going to be more banana vegetations or guava, flowers as well growing within that region, compared to, for example, up north, where you're going to have different terroirs that are boasting huskier flavors, musk, humidity, and a different form of earthiness, because up north you'll have a volcanic region, there'll be rainforest. So different regions, different countries, and different islands will obtain different terroir based on what the plain or the ground or the environment has.
Wow. Okay, so just I told you there's going to be loads of stuff coming up. So I'm just trying to think, the three big agricole brands that I can think, I'm probably missing one or two or three. We've got Clement, we've got JM Rhum or Rhum JM, whichever, and you've got Damiso. If there's any others, then forgive me. But are they? How close are they to each other? In Martinique, are they going to produce?
And then you have
different
flavors. No, different flavors. Yeah. So yes, you're absolutely correct. GM is the one I was referring to up north. So that's where you're going to get more muskier finishes. The humidity is much higher. You've got rainforest there. And also the terroir is going to be driven differently because of the plants that are within that region versus what's lower down. So every part of the island will obtain a different flavor. If you're close to the sea, you'll have more saline because it washes onto the soil and then it's absorbed by the sugarcane. So ultimately, every region will provide a different flavor at the end.
And that'll be more relevant because you won't get those differences in molasses. Well, you might slightly, but nothing like sugarcane.
Not the same. Not the same. Sugarcane, like I said, is very vegetal. When you're working with molasses, you tend to get more cacaos and tobaccos coming through. You can get the tobacco finishes when we're dealing with oak casks, but tend to have more sweet raisin as well when you're dealing with Spanish and English style, molasses style rums versus your agricoles. So that once we start tasting, you'll see the difference for sure.
I think that's the big, especially in the sort of community that we don't chat about too much. I think that's the big thing that people miss is that actually the sugar cane is actually just a crop that's in a field, and that in itself is completely and utterly different to the vibes molasses will give. I'd even never really thought about the terroir and all that, how that plays a part in sugarcane juice.
It's huge. The terroir is massive. When we get to the can bleue as well, I'll explain a little bit with that because you'll really understand how that is versatile and every year can affect the terroir based on different humidities and whether rainy season came earlier or hurricane season. And it all determines by the climate as well as the cropping.
Wow. So do you want to crack on with one of these, Tasty? I know there's a lot of dying to get in then. We're starting with this one, aren't we?
Yes, so we've got 40, I believe.
Yeah. And just to sort 50. Have you got 50 there or not?
I myself don't. I wasn't so special enough to have it.
So for my community, I think I explained, in case most of you should realise that these guys, Spiribam, sent me this for tea punch week, whenever the hell that was, earlier this year. So because they sent me the bottle and I'd only used that much, I thought what would be great would be to compare the 50, which is not a UK product, to the 40. So that'll be interesting for you guys as well. But go for it. Talk us through the standard UK one, the 40.
Fantastic. So this one is unaged. It is 40. Now in the UK, we tend to get 40 because apparently we can't handle our liquor. In Martinique, it's pretty much standard to have 50 and above. So there is even a 55 expression, but you just can't get it in the UK. Essentially. Yeah. So there are different expressions, and like I said, in the UK, we can't handle our liquor, so they just do 40 for us. They bring it down. But what's amazing about this product is unaged, but it just boasts so much character. Now, what to expect when you're smelling your agricole, especially if it's unaged, is you don't want to go too intensely. You don't want to overburn the palate, especially your nose. So go for a very gentle smell. Sometimes I like to describe, if you close your eyes, feel yourself in a hot, humid climate as if you're walking through a field of sugarcane. And really, when there's harvest period between January and July, it's in the air. The humidity is so high that when you're walking through these fields, this is what you smell, is what's in the bottle. So just to go a bit about the process, is they cut the sugarcane and they take it off to the mills very, very quickly to be ground. Now, that's because we don't want it to spoil. It's so hot out there that the sugarcane after 3 hours will just spoil. So we need to take it very, very quickly to the mills, flush it with water, grind it, and obtain as much juice as possible. We then leave the byproduct or leftover sugarcane, which we call the bagasse, and that's later on used for refueling. After that, it then goes into fermentation tanks. Now, coming back to terroir, is the reason that the fermentation tanks are open is because we allow that wild yeast to fall in. Now, we do add some yeast in there, but the wild yeast is the biggest part of this process because, as I said earlier on, if there's flowers, if there's bananas, this is where you're going to get fruitier notes coming through when you sip your agricole. So there's no sugar added. You're just going to get some of that fruity floral notes, usually white floral notes, peppery notes in the finish as well. And that's obtained from the wild yeast that just sits on the surface of plants, makes its way into the fermentation tank, and then we go straight into distillation. So for this particular product, it is a column still. So it's a continuous still, and this gives more crisper finishes to the rum versus something that possibly would be in a pot still, where you get a bit more character, a bit more heavier body. This is going to always be a crisp finish. Another very important step, which is part of the AOC, is it must come off the still between 65 and 75% ABV.
Wow.
And that's because we have 25 to 35% of flavor. And that's remarkable because that's what you're going to really smell and taste in this. It's all that sugarcane notes coming through.
So that's, my knowledge on this is minimal, but that's a bit lower than a lot of column stills, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is to obtain a lot of flavor. So, you know, you're working with vodkas and such, they're going to be higher on, which means that you don't have more flavor coming through. Whereas with this, you tend to have a lot. It boasts a lot of character of sugarcane, which is why I said imagine a field, and that's what you get in the bottle.
Yeah. So 65% to 75% ABV is coming off the still. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
then
insane.
Then we have to bring it down.
Yeah.
We have to bring it down to 40%. So this is where we add water, and it's rested in steel vats for 6 months. And this just allows it to rest and bind and then come down to a reasonable percentage.
Wow. So so this 50, what market is that? Is that Europe or is that?
That won't be the UK. So yeah, you'll tend to find it in France and in Martinique specifically.
In France and stuff. So what, you said there was a 55, did you? Or
there is a 55 as well.
Is
is
that Martinique?
Yeah. I haven't tried it myself yet, but I've had a lot of canned blues which are at 50%. So at least we get to play around with a higher percentage later on.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Right. If anyone's tried this, there was a couple of questions I saw coming back up there. But if anyone's tried this now, just let us know in the comments what you think. I can see a couple of smells great. See, this is why I wanted to do in Agricole so much, because I know everyone we've got one guy, Windy, in here that refers to it as baby sick or vomit. And there was one, but to sort of, I don't know, to sort of back him up, I've been going to Rumfest, to trade day at Rumfest for a lot of years. And there's always, I can never remember which brand it is. There's always one brand of Agricole there in the trade bit that just, I smell it and it's just, it's what put me off Agricole for ages. Yeah. And then you kind of actually have some decent stuff and you're like, actually, that it doesn't smell bad at all. This smells lovely.
I think the biggest thing is about training the palate. So before I was introduced to Agricole, and like I said, it was very short stint from Molasses straight to Agricole. It took a few years to really appreciate the product. I mean, as a bartender, I wanted the challenge, wanted to put it into cocktails, but it took a while for me to really understand and engage with the product. So it is normal for the beginning, first triers to Agricole, it to be quite intense, raw as well. But you eventually you start to really understand the flavors that you're gaining from the terroir. So even smelling this now, perhaps a few years back, I would have gone, whoa, that's too much. But now I smell it, and all I can smell is flowers. I think of the hibiscus that's planted out there, the guavas, a lot of fruited citrus notes coming through as well.
I do get a lot of that sort of tropical fruit, that sort of guava-y sort of stuff, because I'm always playing about with those sort of juices and syrups. I love all that sort of tropical stuff. That's what I pick out quite easily. It's the other, when I sip rums, it's like the woody or different types of wood, tobacco, leather, I struggle to pick out, but fruit is kind of where I'm at. This is, I also get honey off this, actually, a little bit
honey,
of honey.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, again, that comes from that sweetness that you obtain from sugarcane. I mean, for those of you tasting it, it's obviously not going to be heavily sweetened because we don't add sugar, but you might be able to taste a fruity finish.
Is that just this would be a dumb question as well, but the AOC strictly prohibits any sugar added, is that correct?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So it's all depending on, for example, like which casks we use. Generally, they have to start in French oak, whether they are pre-used or fresh or clean, and then later on into other oaks. So, for example, ex-bourbon. AOC also controls the varieties. So in Martinique, there's up to 20 that have been authorized by the AOC, but 12 that are used within our ranges. So it's everything from the variety of sugarcane we use, which casks we put it in, even aging. This is really important and wonderfully transparent, is that we'll never put the oldest age on the rum. It's always the youngest. And if it's anything below 3 years, it's matured. We don't even say aged. Anything 3 years and above is a view. So we're as transparent as possible. No sugars, no additives. It's just cane.
Wow. There's some awesome comments. See, I was expecting some negativity. There's some awesome comments in here. We've got a few smells like tequila. I saw one somewhere
Yes.
that said mezcal. I get the mezcal reference, actually. I do get that.
Yeah. There's less of the peatiness. You might find that further up north. So in the GM range, you'll catch a bit more peatiness, but they do also play around with charring of the barrels just to really pull that out and accentuate those flavors. But with Clement specifically the tequila, I definitely catch it. I must say, if you do a side-by-side blind tasting between tequila, cachaça as well, and Rhum Agricole, you'll be tricked. I hate to admit it, but there was a time that I can tell the difference. Now it's a bit different, but yeah, there was a time I mistook it for tequila actually.
See, I'm really enjoying this this 50. One of the videos I did when you guys sent me this was do the tea punch side by side, and the 50 tea in a tea punch. Sorry, I'll say it. I'll say it properly a bit later.
You like?
I'm terrible at French, but it's so much different. For 10% ABV, there was so much difference in taste.
Yeah. So just so I can actually show you all for a tea punch.
Take
a little lime disc. And we cut it this way specifically, so we just release a couple of drops of juice. So I think you can see a few are going in there. And this actually allows, you can see it's bent now. We're going to put that in there. And once we drop that in, the skin actually releases essential oils, which means when you're stirring or swizzling traditionally, you'll find that you're actually coating the inner glass with those wonderful lime essential oils. And then you have a tiny bit of acidity and just a little bit of sugar demerara. Now, a tea punch is very special because it's for yourself. It's not for another person. So actually, if you're a bartender and to give a tea punch out to someone, you want to give them all the ingredients separately. And this way they can design it for themselves and their own palate. If you want more sweetness, you add more sugar. If you want more citrus, you add more lime. And then you whack in some of your agricole. Do give it a little bit of a stir first, and you can dissolve that sugar as well. So in this case, we're just using those little drops to dissolve some of that demerara. If you want crunch, by all means, don't stir too much, but entirely up to you. And then we go in with your agricole afterwards. Now, at this point, what we're trying to achieve is just kind of blossoming the rum. The lime and sugar is like a holy trinity with rum, isn't it? And it's been around for quite some time, so it always works. But in this case, right? This way, it just opens up those flavors wonderfully. So the sweetness is added there where we obviously don't have it within the actual distillate or in the rum itself. We're adding a little bit of that sugar in it, so that blossoms those fruity notes, and then that citrus really works well to also cut through kind of the roughness and the earthiness of the product.
Couple of questions. So I didn't cut up because I don't know, sentimental. I'm keeping that. Is it demerara sugar crystals, whatever you want to call that? Is that better than syrup? Do like Martinique, do they make syrup up or not? Is that frowned upon?
No, it's not frowned upon at all. So we do have cane syrup or syrup de canne, and that is also usable. Pretty much I'll offer either demerara or syrup. Most of the time it's demerara, and actually like your sachet, they tend to give sachets wherever you go. It tends to be a thing, or you'll have like a pot on the side. That's brilliant. I love that.
I like this. This is proper branding on brand. Where are we going? There we go. Look at
brilliant.
that.
Look at that.
Love this sort of stuff. That's classy. So is it always demerara instead of like white sugar that we get here, like caster sugar?
Generally, yeah. You tend to get more like honey and notes coming through. There's a bit more character compared to a refined. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. You know, ultimately it's your palate and how you want to receive your tea punch is entirely up to you. But you do just end up having a little bit more characteristic coming from your demerara. I've even made some sorrel syrup myself.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
hibiscus to you guys in the UK.
Yes, I was just to say, yeah. So sorrel syrup in the Caribbean is hibiscus syrup. And
look, this is what makes me laugh though. Hold yours up. Hang on, hold yours up. This is what it's not too bad actually. It's sort of similar. Yeah, sorry, so I'll take that back. I've seen I forget who it is now. I've seen another brand of hibiscus syrup and it's just like a light pink in colour.
Well, yeah, I mean, it obviously depends on how many hibiscus flowers you're using in it. I tend to use quite a concentrated amount. In Martinique, it's really viscous as well versus some other islands which are like heavy in ginger. These tend to be heavy in botanicals like nutmeg, cinnamon, clove, pimento. So you can even go ahead and do that. So you can even add a little bit of your sorrel to your lime and then add your rum afterwards. You can use any other syrup. So I've even got Monin. I've got a French elderflower here as well. It's really versatile. So however you want to play with it, you can either go traditional or you can mix it up with different styles.
So you're just purely swapping your demerara sugar out for a flavour, but not drowning it. Literally a couple of minutes.
Just a couple of drops, yeah, just to give you either colour or an essence.
I'm assuming because it's London. I'm assuming you just walk down the road and you can get like sorrel flowers and all that sort of stuff quite easily. It's not like out here in the sticks. Scott, I know Scott's up in Sheffield going, oh my God, where can I go? The Northerners just can't get anything.
Generally, you can. Yeah, you can go into a few stores and just get some dried hibiscus flower. I'm sure you can also get it online in bulk, so you can go crazy.
Oh, is that all that is? Dried hibiscus?
Dried hibiscus flower, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I just put some cinnamon and cloves, but like I said, you can buy it online as well.
I thought you'd found this lovely sort of local London store that imported Caribbean stuff, and you had like fresh sort of hibiscus and sorrel flowers.
No. I mean, I've been making sorrel for quite some time now. For Beachcomber, it was in one of our rum punches, and I actually adored it because I made friends with a Martinican and Guadeloupean chef, and she actually showed me how to make her blend. So that was amazing. Wow. And also some of the cuisine. So now I absolutely just in love with Martinique based on the rum and the cuisine. It's a full circle thing, really.
Awesome. Love that. Already vital. I'm just loving all these comments at the moment. This is Anne over in the US. She's got another YouTube channel. Grassy vegetal warm. Love your description, Ash. Spot on. 50. The 50 is much more funky smelling. I like that. Did I put the right one? Yeah, I did do. Trevor over in Canada has a bit of a sour cream smell in a good way. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's palate's different. Everyone's nose is different. So what you're going to pick up is going to be very unique. And so, yeah, if you pick up sour cream and then you enjoy it, then boom.
I swear I get soil smell.
Yes, yeah.
Soil. And you're a bit crazy. We got anything here? I know Katie. So I don't know whether you know. Do you know Katie Stratford? Have you cottoned on who this is?
I'm not sure.
Katie is Stratford Sodas.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, so Katie, Ash. So yeah, Katie did ask earlier, but we've skirted over that about a decent there's quite a few people are commenting about a decent Agricole to get as a present. But I'm sure we'll come on to that a bit later. So that's what Geraint's talking about. He's pointing her in the right direction there. But yeah, interesting. We got any other the smell of hang on, here's the professional. Ooh, the smell of the 40. Sitting on the veranda with my granddad, warm Caribbean nights, flowers and fruit. I like that. Geraint's always got an awesome story about how he enjoys rum. I like that. 50 is totally different. Scalp and lime. I think. Cool. So, here we go. Jagpimp. It's Fred, isn't it? Fred. Hi, Ash. Greetings from Tucson. I've never had an Agricole rum. What do you recommend for the first bottle? Bear in mind, I'm a bit of a plonker and like rum and coke.
That's fine. I mean, obviously, you like what you like, and that's absolutely fine. You will find that the unaged products are probably tough to put in a coke. I have done it in the past, and I had to douse it with a lot of lime. It just cuts through, so you don't really get to enjoy it as well. What I would suggest is go for your more matured or aged products. So something like a View, so 3 years and above, that would work quite well. It will just sit better because it's a bit softened by the wood and the time it's spent in casks versus something that's unaged and it's just like boasting grassy notes, which surprisingly doesn't really work with coke.
Right. Trevor, seen videos of a tea punch being sold in the street in Martinique and they only ever use dry sugar, never syrup.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, generally they will give you demerara, but there are lots of distilleries will produce syrup as well, and it just dissolves a bit faster. So it's entirely up to you what you like. Essentially, the flavor is going to be very similar, just one's more syrup based and one is more crystalline.
Awesome. Cool. Right, I think we've caught up there. I think that's everything. I'm really impressed by everyone's reactions to this. I wasn't nervous, but I was a little bit wary of what they would, because there's so much banter. It is banter at the end of the day, because no one's ever had it. It's just, but I was a little bit kind of skeptical about what they think. And to see all these reactions coming in, I'm quite.
I mean, it's a tricky rum. Like I said, it is a tricky rum to be introduced to. You just need time to get used to them. Usually as well, when I do a tasting, as I go backwards. So we start with the aged, then to the matured, and then finish on the white. Because that way it's like a subtle, gradual journey into the intensity of the blanc. So we usually go backwards, and that's why we don't burn the palate as well. So you start off with something a bit more gentle and really understanding the characteristics and how it's touched by wood, and then slowly making its way to its extreme vegetation.
Oops. Never mind. We'll do that. Right, so where's Wendy? Wendy's being quiet. So if there's any more questions about like this, the unaged, the 40, then dive them in there. Where do we go next then?
Oh, yay! I get to choose. Fantastic. What I would say, I'd like to take us away from the unaged and then come back to Can Bleue. Yeah? Right. So let's go with Select Barrel.
Select Barrel. I thought yes. That's where we'd. Yeah.
Brilliant. So Select Barrel is matured. It's not aged, and this one specifically, we haven't even put the aging on. For those that you are curious, it is up to 22 months. Now, this can be a blend of different maturations, but ultimately it's all about the flavor and consistency of the flavors for every year and every batch. Now, what I mean by that is essentially with this one specifically, we have used pre-used French oak casks. Now, why do we do that? Is because they have very high vanilla intense notes and sweeter finishing coming from the actual cask itself. So we've gone with an unaged Rhum Agricole, placing it into these pre-used French oak casks, and they sit for roughly up to 22 months. And what we obtain from this is a much softer, smoother finish, high vanilla intense notes, which actually reflects a bit like a whiskey. So like an Irish whiskey or even a bourbon with those vanilla finishes coming through. You will find fruity notes from the Agricole, but ultimately do give it a taste, because you will find it's completely different to the unaged blanc.
So this is 40% ABV as well, I think.
Indeed,
sorry if you said that. Yeah, sorry.
I didn't, but thank you.
So I'm listening with one ear to you, and I'm watching what's going on the screen on the other.
Bless you.
Yes,
this is 40%.
Go on, we'll put that on screen now. I can't. Oh, bloody hell, not that one. This one. The only unaged I've ever found here in Canada was, I've never heard of that. Info on that. Yeah. And info on that. I've never really found anything about the brand. Okay, sorry. Right. That's fine. Right.
It's a shame you can't get Clem on there, but yeah. So this one you'll find a lot of that oakiness does come through. It's a lot softer. Honey, I can see musty honey barrel. Exactly that. Yeah, exactly that. That's that barrel's coming through. So essentially, the cellar master and master blender will ensure to look at these casks and find those very sweet flavors. And this is why it works remarkably, because it's a great introduction for those who like their maybe bourbon or Irish whiskies, maybe some of the subtle Japanese as well, and want to come into the world of rum, but don't know how to. This is a really good access point. So you can flutter between those two realms and actually start making a rum, and a very fresh one at that as well.
So this is, you said it, it's a blend of rums up to 22 months. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that
it can vary. It can vary, but ultimately what the master blender or cellar master do is they ensure to have a consistent flavor regardless if that blend changes. So ultimately it always tastes the same, but it can have a different age maturation.
I'm not sure if this is a really dumb question as well. I like asking dumb questions, so it doesn't bother me. Would sugarcane juice take on characteristics of a barrel quicker? Or
question. I don't believe so. Essentially, mostly because when you've brought it down to the 40% mark, or we brought it down to low ABV after distillation, it will obviously reduce a bit in the cask, but I think it wouldn't take on any differently, really, versus a molasses.
So it's brought down. It's brought down to 40% ABV before resting in.
Well, we'll bring it lower, and then the time it spends. I mean, it does reduce a little bit in cask, but not so much. But very much so, they bring it down first and then put it into cask. You do get angel share now. So something very specific versus different rums from different regions is the climate. So in Martinique, it's Caribbean, it's very hot. So the maturation is faster. So it wouldn't be very much determined by the liquid within the cask. It's more determined by the climate. So if it's a continental, it'll be slower. If it's in the Caribbean, South America, it's going to be very hot. So you tend to get a faster angel share, which is just the loss and evaporation of alcohol. And at the same time, it just matures or ages much faster in comparison to a climate that's colder.
See, I'm gonna make a point. There's a few people sort of touching on it. Right, this is the one thing that I've, since properly sort of going down this rum journey, I really struggle to get my head around how some rums can be sweet without adding sugar, and this is one of them. I think I don't mean this is sweet, but it's so much softer, so much easier to drink than some sort of 3-year-old Barbados rums or Trinidad rums, or it's just, I hate using the term, but like smoother. It's a smoother ride. It's just, I think it must be that sort of sugarcane juice.
It's a combination. So you get that terroir that's driving it as well, but then also you get natural sugars that come from the woods, and also because it's spent time in a pre-used cask, which would have had a rum in it before that potentially had been aged for a certain amount of time. So extracting more of those sugars or just sitting and, smoothing out. In this case, because they are pre-used, we are gaining those sweeter notes coming from the cask itself. If it was a fresh or clean cask, you'd get more of the oak and less of the sweetness, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, totally.
But no, it's fantastic. This one, you will kind of get a bit more of the tobacco, the cacao's coming through, a gentle raisin.
Not cacao. As soon as you said that sort of just hit me straight. Yeah.
Yeah, the tobacco notes, the cacao comes through. I say gentle raisin because, again, it doesn't boast as much raisin character as you would find in your Spanish style, for example, or your molasses heavy, but it is still present. Honey as well come through, maybe a bit of maple. Again, everyone's flavor is different, but generally those are the characteristics you're going to get from it. I actually personally love bourbon. I shouldn't say it, but I love bourbon. So when I'm not drinking rum or agricole, I'm drinking bourbon. And it's because of those vanilla notes. So select barrel would be my go-to generally because I get the best of both worlds.
Wow. That's really, I mean, I've had, as you can see, I've had a bottle for ages and I've never really given it the love it deserves. Never. It's just been sort of, so I gave everyone, I've sort of finished that bottle before starting the one you guys sent me to send out to people. And it's really annoying me now because it's really delicious.
It's stunning.
I really love that.
A really good serve. So in the Beachcomber, we still do it. It's our signature serve. We do the Agroni with the select barrel. Ooh. So we use select barrel. We also use the shrub. So a little bit of the Clement shrub, which we'll go on to later on. That just boasts a lot of orange, a tiny touch of Campari bitter, and then a touch of vermouth. And what we do is we've changed the ratio of what a Negroni would be, calling it the Agroni, Agricole Negroni, but also this way you get to really appreciate the rum that's in it. So it works wonderfully in classic cocktails. If you want to switch out a whiskey, even doing an old-fashioned, it's fantastic. A touch of cane syrup in this case, maybe some vanilla bitters, plum bitters work wonderfully as well, and then twist that up, have an orange zest at the finish. But I also like to put lime. So not many people do this, but with a rum old fashioned, I do orange and lime. So that way you get that lime coming in, pulling out those agricole notes, and the orange just softening it and giving it a fruity finish.
Wow. See, I want the community opinion on this, right? I would previously have been nervous to giving this to a newbie, like someone who's really new to rum. But having revisited this, I totally wouldn't be now. I totally wouldn't be. I think this is a great. I don't mean any disrespect. yeah, I think this is a great entry level. And I really don't mean any disrespect by that, but I think this is. I would struggle to find someone that didn't like that. Let's put it like that.
Yeah. I mean, this one it's really versatile, so you can enjoy sipping it. It's great for, like I said, going backwards and then going to the blanc. So
Yeah.
starting with this, because also those vegetal notes aren't so intense. So it means you're not shocking your system as much. You're just actually feeling those layers. And I think also this is a really good training exercise for the palate, because now you can start distinguishing those flavors. And then as you come back to the unaged, you can go, that's the flavor that I could taste, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it.
In Martinique, would this also be a decent tea punch rum, or would they use the white more?
You could use both. Generally, you would have the matured or aged as sipping, but you can do, by all means,
okay.
You can have a tea punch with a select barrel that's stunning. In fact, I would suggest, if you have any of your samples left over, to give it a go. If you've got some lime and sugar at home, do give it a taste, and you'll see how. In fact, I'll do the same right now. I think I've got
and just to pipe Trevor, and Trevor's given me some banter. Apparently, I think bourbon is Jack Daniels. This is coming from the man that thinks Crown Royale is like the go-to. And,
right? No, I generally drink.
And what's the other one? And Screech.
No.
Don't you start giving me bants, Trev.
Elijah Craig, 12 year, tends to be my go-to. Woodford's really easy sipping. But then I find also there's, you wouldn't noticeably say there's Agricole notes within whiskey, but it's those vanilla finishes, which I really enjoy in the Rhum Agricole matured. So when I can't get my hands on it and there's a bar that doesn't have it, I'll just have a Woodford Reserve or something that boasts a lot of oak and vanilla.
Wow.
Not so much Jack Daniels, but...
Right, did that. I know I'm going to get banter. I know I'm using sugar syrup at the moment, but that's all right.
By all means, I mean, use sugar syrup. It does dilute faster. I would just suggest, if you're using sugar syrup, to use less. So start off with like half a teaspoon, whereas you might use a teaspoon of Demerara. Go half a teaspoon of the sugarcane syrup.
So, boys and girls, in the comments so far, let me know. Just put SB, 40 or 50. Which of the three do you prefer so far? So you just put 40, 50 or SB. So that's what I want to see. I just want to see which one you prefer so far. I can see we're obviously having, everyone's kind of having a loving, and it's not what people expected. So that's awesome straight away. But I'm kind of interested in this, right?
We got some 50 coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 50 will tend to boast a bit more character than the 40.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
It's great that everyone's saying 50 because that's the one that probably boasts the most character. So we're definitely making headway here with the...
They're alcoholics by a lot. So is there a select barrel 50, or is that just purely 40 around the world?
From my where there's only a 40.
Right. That is, I mean, obviously, because they taste completely different neat anyway, but that's so different in a tea punch.
So different. I actually think a lot more honey comes through in this one, a lot more like maple notes. And of course the oak, the lime really extracts the oak coming through. We do lose a lot of the vegetation.
Yeah.
So it's a bit smoother. I think I actually picked up on a comment there that said the same thing, but it's still lovely, it's still lush. And actually it's quite great to not have ice in there, because you really get to understand what it tastes like without the dilution.
Is, hang on a minute, I've not sure is Karen here? I really want to see Karen and Pam. I'm sure Pam, Morgans and Coke. I'm sure you got one as well. But Karen, I really want to see your reaction and hear from you. Karen's just sort of joined it. She's coming from the sweeter end of the spectrum. It's like spiced rums and stuff like that. So I really want to see people like Karen that are perhaps not used to sipping neat rum, see what their thoughts are. That'll be kind of interesting.
We got a lot of SB with lime and sugar. Really nice. Love that.
Yeah. Totally different to sort of a rum fashion. I love just the tiniest hint of citrus coming through in that. That's just amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing that you only need a couple of drops. I think, when we understand daiquiris and we're like, there's equal measures to sugar and lime, and it's actually quite a lot. It's still a remarkable cocktail. By all means, I have daiquiris all the time, but it's just impressive to see how just a few drops of lime and a touch of sugar actually ultimately changes the entire body and flavor of the drink, and how little you actually need.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Love that. Love that. Where next then? We'll catch up with these comments in a second.
Right. Okay. So let's take us right back, and what we'll do is we're having like a main aperitif, a main course, and we're going to finish on dessert. Yeah.
Ooh.
So let's go to the can bleue, and we'll finish on the Creole shrub.
I love your accent. I wish I could do that. Shrub, Clement Shrub.
to be honest, everyone thinks I can speak French because of my pronunciation, so I need to keep up and actually start learning the language.
Oh, my chav. Clement Shrub. There we go. Right, cane. See, I've just called it cane bleue straight away. Say it. What's it called?
Can bleue.
Yeah. Right. Let's give the boys and girls that. There we go.
Brilliant.
And this is 50% ABV.
50%. Yeah. So
now this is you might cover it, but there is a few other cane blues, isn't there? On the
wait for it.
Oh, look out!
I came prepared.
Yeah.
So this is the there's my camera. That's the 2021. There are vintages right from 2001 right up until 2022, and the 2023 is being created as we speak.
Wow.
No, go for it.
No, I was just going to say. So the differences are they are vintages from a specific year, whereas this is just an ongoing blend.
Yeah. So actually we'll go to that. So I'll just explain a little bit of the vintages, because I think everyone thinks vintage, they think aged. All of them are unaged. So similar as the Blanc, it's sat in a steel vat for 6 months, reduced down, and it's not placed in any oak or wood cask whatsoever. So they're all unaged. Now, what makes them a vintage is an annual vintage. So every annum, the climate might change. We might have hurricane season earlier. Humidities might go further up or drop. And fundamentally, you'll have a different flavor every year. Now, with the sugarcane, it's can bleue. So this is a variety, which is just blue sugarcane. It's one of the 12 that we use.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So this is a single varietal sugarcane rum. Bit of a mouthful, but it is just one. Whereas you have up to 12. So you can have like cannelle, which is cinnamon, I believe, which is a red cane, yellow cane, different varieties of green cane. Different ones will have different yields. So can bleue actually has the hardest yield, but it boasts the most character. So we still work with it regardless, because even if it's the hardest cane to work with, it's the one that boasts the most character when it's unaged.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that is just knowledge that I hadn't even cottoned onto at all. So there's 12 different types of sugar. 12, was it?
12.
Wow.
So we have up to 20 that are authorized by the AOC, but there's 12 that we are currently using. So different varieties. I couldn't tell you the blends of the varieties that we use, but I can tell you this one is a single variety.
But even for like a novice coming into it, just that in itself, when you think about it, all these different agricole, sugarcane, whatever, sugarcane juice rums that are they're so different because of the different sugar. That's just blown my little head. I assume there'll be a couple of different varieties, but not that many.
Yeah. I mean, there's, I think, 4,000 different varieties of sugarcane out there. There's a lot. There's a lot, but there's only up to 20 that are authorized by the AOC in Martinique, and 12 that I know of that are being used within our portfolio at the moment.
Which obviously it makes a slight difference, but not a huge difference in molasses. It's not. It will, yeah. That's probably an argument for Richard Seal and crew to get into, but I'll get the Seal. But
I mean, one of the biggest questions I'm still waiting to find out, because I'm sure some of you are probably curious. I'm still waiting to find out myself. Caribbean time is Caribbean time, so you have to just wait and be patient. I am trying to find out if there's a kind of structure or a table that explains what kind of flavors to expect. I mean, ultimately, every variation is a grass. It's a sugarcane. You're going to get those grassy, earthy notes, floral, and then the terroir will also be the driving force ultimately. But with the can bleue, you tend to get these. Once we try it, you're going to see that it just boasts twice, maybe 3 times more character than you would find in the 40 or the 50 of the Clement Blanc.
Wow.
So definitely give it maybe a side-by-side if you have any samples left.
Yeah.
Save a little bit and have a little taste between them. But definitely, yeah, go in, give that a little go. Something is quite interesting about the non-vintage that I found out recently is there's actually a little, I don't know if you can see that,
Hang on,
there's a number here.
I'll do it on mine. The QR code. Yeah. Oh, no, that number. Yeah,
not the QR code.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
on the QR code.
L139 /21. So that's actually 21, as in 2021. So even though this label says non-vintage, it's just not placed in the vintage bottle, but it is from the 2021 crop. So if you have the 2021 vintage and you have this, you'll find it's the same liquid. So I actually found that recently because I thought it was separate crops, but actually it's the same crop. Yeah. So you will find every year that there'll be different bottlings, but essentially every year you'll find a different bottle of a vintage. And when you try them side by side, what's remarkable is they taste different. You will have those traditional earthy vegetal floral notes coming through, but every year will have a different finish. What do we think?
Wow. So smell wise, that is 50 side by side. It's a lot. Well, it's a lot more sort of what I would expect from Agricole on the nose.
Is this the vomity notes we were talking about?
Yeah, but on the taste, it's so different.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So this one is it really is remarkable because it is boasting character, it's boasting terroir, and it's a really great way to understand how different variations will ultimately taste once they've been distilled.
How, if you mentioned it, I'm really sorry, but how long would that be rested for?
6 months. So it's unaged.
6 months the same.
Yeah. So it's unaged, 6 months. Steel vats. So the steel vats, you can't obtain any flavors because it's not like oak where you're literally taking it and absorbing it. Steel just will give you nothing. So that's why you also end up with no color.
So any one of you that comes out in Discord or wherever and tells me that, you only get character from pot still rums. Hello.
I'm afraid not. Sorry to disappoint. Wow. You get a lot of
that is insane
from Rhum Agricole. Yeah. It's very different.
It's like I call it. I don't know. I call them journey rums. Like when you have that first sip, and then there's like a mid palate. There's like 4 or 5 different palates. You don't have a mid and an end. It's like this whole.
It's a journey. Yeah, it's a journey.
I get vanilla up the front, and then it's sort of the spice notes. And then there's a little bit of fruit hitting me now.
Yeah. So the vegetation tends to hit first, and then you get the fruitier coming through. But generally, with the canned blue, it goes woof, and you go cane, grass, and then the florals, and then maybe the pepperies and the fruities coming through. But very much vegetation straight away, which you do start to appreciate eventually.
Yeah. So what do we think, boys and girls? I'd say, right, hang on. What's this? I know he means this in the nicest possible way. On this is wild. Oh, so this is a good comment. Sweet smelling, and again, and the sour cream on this. I think it's the spur milk but it's very good. Wow. It's my second favourite. More ethanol on the nose than the 50.
Yeah. You might feel more heat.
I like Trevor's little notes here. So sweetness drops, citrus, bitters, sour, dry, very dry, kind of metal, which I think is dry. Interesting.
Yeah, dry is definitely a great description for it. It is ultimately a dry rum. Without the addition of sugar, you'll tend to get a more dry finish. Again, when you put it in a tiponche, that's when you start removing these drier finishes coming through. I know grassy is an easy description, but as a farmer, I think grassy tends to be the original kind of nuance that you pick up or we suggest. Because sugarcane is a variety of grass, it's just kind of the easiest way to describe it to someone.
Give us a breakdown of vegetal and grass, because that's probably a tasted note that I've got. I would just go vegetal, but I wouldn't be able to depict anything else. It would just be, that's vegetal.
I think, when I think vegetal, I think like root vegetables, because especially some root vegetables, you also get a sweetness from them, but also soil. Someone mentioned soil before. And when I did tastings, I'd explain it's like putting your face in a bed of soil when it's your first go. But I think that's a great thing because that's where you're kind of understanding that sugarcane absorbs all those wonderful minerals and water from the soil. So it really is, when we say vegetal, more root veggies, green as well. I don't know, I can't have an actual green vegetable other than like spinach or something like that. I could probably not
broccoli.
say celery or cabbage, or, well, I think maybe more on the broccoli end.
Yeah.
Because when I think celery, it's got a very distinctive flavour, doesn't it? But maybe your root veg will come through a bit more there, and that sweetness.
Okay.
You know, if you think of like parsnips, there's a sweetness to it. Carrots, even to some degree, mixed in with spinach in there.
Okay.
So like a really nice smoothie that's meant to be healthy for you.
Interesting. I've just come back to one question. You've probably mentioned this. I'm sorry again, but I just like all this stuff. So I've just got that one because I know it's 50. This is one specific type of cane, sugar cane.
Yeah.
Do we know how many? Is this a blend of all 12? Do we
actually don't know. That one
know.
I specifically can't tell you. No,
Right, okay.
I just know that there's up to 12 that we use on the island. That is a question I have asked, again, Caribbean time. So waiting to find out what kind of flavors to obtain, because even if I had a breakdown, I'd be able to kind of figure out from the flavors myself by doing a tasting and going, oh, okay, I can see that there's probably yellow cane in here or a variety of different green canes. But that, no, unfortunately, I have not been given access to. Perhaps it's a secret.
That's fair enough. What am I calling this? Just the.
This is a blanc. Or
the blanc, right? So the blanc, I'm getting the 50 side by side. I'm getting way more fruit off the blanc up front.
Yeah.
Way more fruit, tropical fruit, than I do off the cane blue. The cane blue is just like all these spice and honey and vanilla and then fruit and then
I have to say, I think it was a 2014 vintage that I tried, which used to be my favorite. It's been a while since I've tried it. I don't even know if it's on the market anymore. It might have even just been done and gone now. But that had, if I'm correct, it used to have banana plantation before we had the sugarcane crop. So we were in banana crop first, and then afterwards, once those have been flipped, we'd then go on to sugarcane. And what would happen is you have these wonderful minerals and wonderful flavors within the soil, and the sugarcane would absorb it, and you'd have a single variety can blue 2014 vintage with a banana finish. So that's also quite interesting, is depending on what's been cropped beforehand, you'll generally find that you'll find those nuances in the rum. And just to answer, I'm sure someone's going to ask this question, is generally banana. It just leaves the minerals and the state of the soil in a really good kind of composition for sugarcane. So generally you'd flip between sugarcane and banana.
So you're literally talking about the field. So like 1 year it'd be banana, and then they'll swap it into sugarcane afterwards.
Swap it, yeah. I mean, we always have blue cane, but generally, if they need to change the crop, they'll put banana first and then go into sugarcane after. So that yield that year would have had a more banana finish. Perhaps the years after might have been less on the banana because we haven't cropped banana after that. We just kept going sugarcane. But then sometimes they'll flip it and go banana again, just to give the soil a really good consistency.
So much science. See, again, I'm just assuming that once a field is sugarcane, it's sugarcane. I hadn't even contemplated that they'll swap the crops about like they do in the UK. It stands to reason because we do it in the UK, but
there's something quite great as well with Rhum Clement. There is quite a bit of sustainability. So when it comes to, I mentioned earlier on, the bagasse, when we crush the sugarcane, you're left with like dry cane, and that bagasse is used to refuel the stills. The stills. And then later on, any kind of leftover liquid from the distillate, we call it a vinasse. That vinasse is then later put into our ponds in Habitation Clement, and it's filtered and it becomes a fertilizer, and we then use that onto the crops. So again, another full circle there.
Wow.
Yeah, so we try and use as much as we can when there's wastage to try and use it back into the process. Which is quite
amazing.
Cool.
I love it. It's so much. It's blowing my little head at the moment. There's so much knowledge. So much. Wow. I'm going to be messaging through the week. I'm going to be watching this back and going, there'll be so many more questions, and they'll be like, right, what's going on? That's, amazing. I just can't get my head around how different, and it should be. I get it, but before pre this coming on live tonight, I just wouldn't have assumed that there was that much of a difference between the blanc and a single variety of sugarcane. That's just. Yeah.
I think, the biggest thing with Rhum Agricole is that it's all about education. Unfortunately, there just isn't enough consumer knowledge out there, and it's no one's fault. It's just, we've all known, and the driving force about the rum world is molasses rums, and you then stumble upon agricoles or your sugarcane rums, and you're suddenly like, whoa, there's a whole new world. Am I ready for it? Is my palate engaged? And and you start questioning the whole rum category altogether. But I think there's a lack of education. So the moment we do start kind of pushing out that knowledge, and something that's amazing like today is that all these people that are joining us are going to now be able to have that, retain that knowledge, and maybe even apply it to other brands, and really be able to pick out their favorite sugarcane rums, or hopefully appreciate them after this, and also look at a single varietal and go, wow, okay, this boasts certain characters, and I know if it's a higher ABV, I'm going to get something else from it, or oh, now it's been touched by wood. And so it's a real, it's a great expression, but it just requires that knowledge to be out there.
I'm blown away. I'm so fascinated. I'm so fascinated by this. 6 months ago, I wouldn't have even given sugarcane a look in, really, because of preconceptions. I say I had this, what I can't even think what brand it is, this one brand of Agricole, and it just put me off. It was just, it was horrid. But it was Geraint that got me on it, and wow.
It's terrifying when you start with it. It's terrifying, but I think the beautiful thing is once you just start understanding
I don't think
it,
it is.
Appreciate it.
Unless I've become immune to it, I don't think that 40 is anything even remotely.
Well, you've trained your palate. It's only taken an hour, and you've trained your palate. Fantastic.
Yeah, but we've also got all these guys in the comment that have probably, I guarantee it, most of them have never had an Agricole before, and they're all saying that they love it. They've not trained their palate.
I don't like the SB as much as the white, which I think is remarkable. So this means actually, I think that's great, is when people are really appreciating the original product before it's been touched by wood, because you've got a great palate out there.
Hang on, what's this one? I don't know who this is. Potato the First. Hello, Potato the First, of who you are. Can we get some more from you? For different terroir and islands, Martinique. Reunion.
Yeah. So I don't really know too much about Guadeloupe or the kind of regions. The reason I know about Martinique is I've specifically been there myself. I've been to St. Lucia as well, but they don't have sugarcane. They're not boasting about sugarcane rums very much, except for in the chairman's legacy, there is a blend there. So I can tell you very much about Martinique. And Martinique, like I said, it's lower plain down in the south. And then as you work up, you're working up to a volcanic region, and that's by Montpellier, which also had erupted at one point, which was devastating. But it has left the region full of minerals within the soil. So when you're working up north with the Rhum GM distillery, when I said the terroir is a bit more muskier, it's both more earthier characters and less of the fruit and the sweetness. It's more dry. That's where you'll find it's because of the terroir is driven by rainforest, and the vegetation is just different. So yes, you'll have flowers and plants and stuff like that, but it won't be as fruity, as sweet. But that's where brands, for example, like Rhum GM, will play around with their different casks. So we in Rhum Clement will work towards having your more vanilla finishes, your cacaos, your tobaccos. And then going up to GM, they will work with the tobaccos, but then also boasting peatiness and earthiness and smokiness. And that's where they'll even have different charring variations for their barrels. And with those, you'll find that those really boost those smoky notes, those muskier finishes, those earthy soil, really mineral, and even slightly savory as well. So it's amazing because, and like I mentioned, there's other brands that also work with very close to the coastal lines. Different regions close to the sea will obtain more saline finishes. So it just depends on what's around them, what's the soil absorbing, what's been cropped beforehand, what's living naturally and wildly around the area, and that will essentially obtain a very individual flavor at the end.
Crazy. It's like a whole different world. I'm going to have to give Geraint his... here we go. I don't wish to say I told you so. Thank you, Geraint. Thank you. We'll give him his 2 minutes of love. Right. Is there anything? 'Cause I'm looking at the time. Is there anything else pressing for a second? No, that's cool. Do you want to? Do you want to do the dessert? Do you want to get on for?
Yes, let's get to the dessert. So the dessert is our wonderful. This is our Creole shrub. Creole shrub is traditionally served around Christmas time because it boasts spices and orange. It's 40%. Is also a liqueur in some way, but it is 40%. You'll find it boasts orange remarkably, and that this is because it's a like intense orange. It's quite fantastic. This is a blend of unaged and matured rums. Again, there isn't any ages put to this. It's all about consistency and the overall flavor. But what brings that wonderful orange flavor and notes is the maceration. So they macerate, which is like seeping or steeping or leaving to sit for up to a month of the pulp and the orange peel, which is bleached as well from the sun. So they leave it out and then they macerate or sit for a month within the liquid, and it just retains all that wonderful sweetness. And then they use some Creole spices. Generally, again, would be your cloves, your cinnamons, your nutmegs. Yeah, but this you'll really, once you taste it, it's mostly orange that you're going to get. You might get a slight hit of those Creole spices on the finish, but it's very much orange that it boasts.
Wow.
That smells and tastes like a medicine.
This is the one orange liqueur that I've never really tried. I've got most of the others up here for like Mai Tais and stuff like that. I've never actually tried this for that.
Yes.
So I resisted the urge even when I was drowning it up for everyone else. This is literally going to be my first taste of this. So
yay! Fantastic.
The smell is amazing.
Another petit punch with this as well.
Oh yeah. So a month. Oranges are macerated for a month.
Yeah, up to a month.
Wow.
Yeah. So you'll find that, it's a great substitute, by the way, for any of you that absolutely adore making cocktails, or if you work in a bar, I would suggest swapping out any of your orange liqueurs or your triple sec and using this. So it's got great ABV as well. So you're not missing out on the alcohol content. What you are gaining is just that wonderful orange flavor. So even a margarita, get into your Maggies, whack it in, and it's amazing. Yeah. So it's not just strictly a rum, liqueur to be used in rum drinks. You can switch it out, put it in your cosmopolitans, absolutely anything. It is generally drunk in Christmas time. So even families will make their own shrub at home, which is really beautiful. But it's also great in the summer. So if you like a spritz, but you don't want it to be overly bitter, whack in some soda, go in with some Prosecco or champagne, and you have yourself a wonderful Creole spritz.
That is stunning. That is absolutely stunning.
Yeah. So this one is super, super versatile. Again, it's not, you are getting a slight hit of vegetation, but it's that orange that is just showcased in this entirely. So again, a really good way of introducing people to Agricole is starting with this.
It's like the two brands in the UK that everyone knows, like Cointreau and Grand Marnier.
I was trying not to say them.
times the closest one is Grand Marnier, but times that by 10, and wow, that is amazing.
Right.
I'm just trying to think what else I've got up here. There was another. Oh no, I won't get that out. The Compañero. That's it. I was trying to think. I'm looking now. I know I've got an orange rum, and I can't think for the life of me what it is, and it's the Compañero up there. But that's amazing.
But yes, this is fantastic. So you can either have it on its own. If you like tonic, this is fantastic with a bit of tonic as well. So if you do want a slight bitter finish, whack that in. If you want to also get some of those vegetal or earthy notes coming from the Agricole, just a bit more punch, you can put in some of the Blanc in there, some of the Can Bleue maybe. So it's really, really versatile. But I would say use it in everything. Definitely start off the margarita and see how it does. And trust me, it's beautiful.
I've just started to do a Mai Tai series, the videos that are dropping. Right, and one of the videos is going to be an orange liqueur, so that's going to come out to play that. But right, here's a question for you: Mai Tais, ignoring, say we've got a 4-rum blend, ignoring 3 of the rums, like which Agricole, which kind of, where would you kind of get the Agricole notes from in a Mai Tai? Like which one would you go?
Question. Me personally, sometimes I actually use the ambre, which we don't have here at the moment. So I would say maybe a select barrel if you want a bit of a softness. If you want a more can blue, definitely go with the can blue because you're going to feel that at the end. The select barrels or the ambres or anything that's slightly matured are going to be softer. So it depends on what kind of finish you want on your Mai Tai. If you want something quite smooth, go for your matured. And if you want a bit more of a hit, so I would say a can blue, definitely. But it also depends on what other rums you're blending with them. If you've got more drier rums, then definitely going in the can blue, that will come through at the end as well. Sweeter rums, you could even work with the slightly matured if you want a smoother finish.
Thinking back to your beachcomber days, would they have had a Mai Tai on the menu, or do they have a Mai Tai on the menu now? And if so, do you know what the blend? No, right, okay.
But I would have done, I would have either gone for the can bleu, the blanc, or the ambre. The ambre we don't have today, but that is matured for only between 6 to 12 months in clean French oak cask. So you still got a nice agricole hit, but it's just slightly softened by the time it's spent in the oak, which is just a mere 6 to 12 months.
Wow. So would you use just agricole in the Mai Tai? But that was my whole point. Excuse me. For like beachcomber, would it just be a 4 or a 2 rum blend or whatever?
We would blend it. We would blend it. So we'd generally go with the Jamaican. Yeah, we'd go with the Jamaican and then go with an agricole. So that way you get best of both worlds. You know, beachcomber was about educating, but not having to dominate too much.
Yeah.
You know, so
I just didn't know whether there was an agricole that would kind of give you those, not rich demerit, but you know what I mean, that sort of richer vibe.
No, I'd usually blend the two. You know, why just go strictly on one? You know, traditionally you're meant to use at least, you know, an agricole of some kind. But it's always meant to go side by side with something else. And that's the beauty of a Mai Tai. It's not strictly one rum. It's various different flavors that are going in there. I would obviously use the shrub as well. And maybe a different style of orgeat, depending, maybe I want something less sweet. Maybe I want
what? Say that. Wait. Say that again.
I said it.
Or how do you say
orgeat?
It? Orgeat. It's what do you mean? It's not orgeat.
Orgeat. I got my rum agricole. Orgeat.
So orgeat. So not orgeat. Orgeat.
I say orgeat. Now I don't even know how I'm saying it anymore. I say orgeat.
Orgeat. Wow.
Incorrect.
I just call it orgeat because my brain doesn't go orgeat, but orgeat. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to write it on my bottle. I'm going to spell it phonetically on my bottle. Orgeat. Right, hang on. Geraint, it's got let's go agricole questions. Oh, that's not a question. That's the question. Why not use? Oh, it's not a question. Question. What? Why not use Grand Aroma instead of Jamaica?
It's whatever you like. I think
what's the Grand Aroma?
Yeah.
Don't know. We don't care. Geraint, go back to sleep.
I mean, a Mai Tai it's entirely up to you how you want it. You know, I mean, we can be anal to some degree and say we're meant to use these products, but I think at the end of the day, if you want to play around with your rums, who's to say you can't? Various different rums will have different flavors. So ultimately, you know, I'm working with agricole that's versus your molasses. It's a whole different ball game. But who's to say we can't mix up our different rums? You know.
I like that. So Nick is buying the bleue and the shrub. We like that. Because the one thing I know there's going to be some questions. Is there any like where can you buy it from and stuff like that? The big thing here is Ash's distributor, basically brands. They're not wholesalers. They don't sell. Well, you don't know. You're Spiribam. You would go to my guys, Master of Malt. You would go to Whiskey Exchange. All those sort of people.
Amethyst,
all you kind of Amethyst. Is that who you push? Boo.
I know them really. Amethyst did look after our products at one point, so we have got a great relationship with them. But you know, we're building relationships with everyone, and we're happy to promote all of them that are looking after our products. Ultimately, without them, we wouldn't be having them pushed. So, by all means, look at all of them: Amethyst, Whiskey Exchange, Master of Malt. I'm sure there's even more e-commerce sites out there that have stock ash.
Yeah. So just so if you want to, that's not your personal. Well, it is your personal, but you don't. Is that public or is that not?
The alchemy of ash, yeah, by all means.
Yeah, that's fine. So Ash, you've got Spiribam UK, which I think actually Dave looks after. Mr.
Yeah,
Marsden, Mr. Manchester Rumfest. I'm sure he's behind that.
yeah.
But the Alchemy of Ash is that's Ash on Instagram. But if you
It
want more
is.
information on Rhum Clement or Clement Rhum, they're the two websites. And who was that at the chairman's? Who did I meet at the chairman's thing? The lovely ladies. Were they Spiribam, France?
Ah, yes, it would have been Audrey and Eleanor. They are
Audrey, that's
over
it.
yes, they're over in France. And yeah, they're frequently jumping between the islands as well. And they work quite heavily with Spiribam coming down to the UK. So they're part of a marketing team, but at the same time, their knowledge is completely through the roof. So whenever we need just extra hands, we bring them down to the UK, and they're absolutely just amazing, amazing people because they're just absolutely so passionate about the products, but have so much knowledge. It's very impressive.
Crazy world. I'm just conscious of the time and trying to get you involved. If anyone's got any last questions for Ash, because it's a Sunday night and she will be working tomorrow morning. And I said 9 o'clock to her. If anyone's got any final questions, get them in the comments now. If we missed anything, is there anything you've wanted to say and we've not said, or anything? I don't know. Ash.
Oh, right.
Oh, me. Hello.
I think we've covered everything. We've covered a bit on the fermentation, about distillation, casks finishes. Obviously, we don't have all the expressions here, so I can't really show you all of them.
So where do we? That's one point to note. So excluding the orange, because the shrub, we get that. So we go up, sort of like that. And then we go.
It goes to Blanc, the Ambre, Select Barrel, VO, VSOP, XO. We have the Os d'Ange, which comes in a beautiful carafe. We have there's various different carafe finishes as well. And then obviously the huge Cam Blue vintage range, which is also there. There is just a lot to get through. So I would suggest if there's something that you want to give a go, and after you've tried the ones today, if you're leaning towards the vintages the more aged products, I would definitely explore the VSOP. It's one of my favorites. It's a combination of two different casks. If you want to go for the unaged, really start delving into the Cam Blue and seeing which kind of flavors you can pull out. But it's a huge, huge portfolio. We also have the Mahina Coco. This one is.
I was going to ask you what that bottle was behind you.
Yeah. So this is the Mahina Coco. This, again, is a wonderful addition to, for example, Pina Colada. It is 18%, so it's a lower ABV. But, again, real coconuts, macerated for up to a month. Phenomenal. Honestly, as a tipoche, you'll be mind blown. So if you just have a couple of touches of lime, no sugar.
Wait, hang on. So the orange has not only has the orange actually seen oranges, but the coconut has actually seen real life coconuts.
Coconuts, yeah.
Wow.
So it's going to be
no
really
flavour compounds here.
No. So this is like as authentic as it gets for coconut. Again, the ABV is slightly lower, but it is meant to be used very much as a liqueur. But like I said, you go in as a tipoche, but just don't put sugar. 2-3 drops of lime, it's remarkable. And actually whack some ice onto this and you'll get through the whole bottle very quickly. It's dangerous. So yes, this is fantastic. Absolutely love putting a bit of this inside a pina colada and just oomphs that coconut flavor big time. So yeah, there's various different expressions to give a go.
Would they drink in Martinique? Would they drink pina coladas with sort of that and that?
Yeah. You can have the Blanc or the Ambre. Ambre is a little bit gentle, so going for the Ambre and the Mahina Coco would be an amazing blend. If you want a bit of a hit, go for the Blanc. But yes, in a pina colada, it's fantastic. You just have to rejig it a little bit compared to classic specifications for a pina colada, just to kind of make up for the heavy agricole notes coming through.
Wow. Well, look, I'm going to let you go. If any of my lot have got any questions and all that, I'll follow up with you. I'll give you a shout on email or something through the week on everything. But Ash, thank you so much for giving up your Sunday night. I appreciate it's your weekend, not like me. It's my working day for me. So thank you. It's blown my mind tonight. Absolutely blown my mind. And I hope this lot now have a new appreciation of Agricole or rum or sugarcane juice or whatever. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
No, you're more
Thank
than
you.
welcome. Do you know what the beauty of this is? Like I said, education. So if you guys do have any questions, please just hit me up. I'm more than happy to answer some questions later on as well. But thank you so much. And I hope you've all enjoyed the Agricole journey.
There we go. Let's just put that on screen one final time. That's Ash on Instagram or Spiribam. You can hassle Dave on Spiribam and he'll sort stuff out as well. But yeah, thank you so much, Ash. Thank you. Honestly, boys and girls, I'm not going anywhere. You know, it's early doors for me yet, so I'll still be on here for another hour or so. And we will chat stuff. But Ash, thank you for tonight. Honestly, it's blown my mind. I know when I'm going to watch this back, there's going to be loads of stuff coming up. So yes. Awesome.
Thank you. Take care, guys. Good evening.
Cheers, darling. Thank you. Right, let's do that and that. Wow, boys and girls. Wow. Hang on, let me just come back to normal. Get rid of that. Yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed that. Honestly, that is just. Take these off now. That is just. Let me just acclimatise because they're noise cancelling headphones, so now I can sort of hear myself properly. That honestly, that I've just got so much information going around my head now. The stuff about all the cane varieties, like just even between. So let's take the 250s. Even between that and that, the difference between just using one sugarcane variety and that, like a blend of sugarcane, how that different. It's just like. You know, I know we give Big G some banter, give him some stick, but he did blow my mind when that night we were out in Black Parrot and tried some Agricole rums there. That did kind of blow my mind. Aged Agricoles, and I mean, I forget what they were. They were over sort of 50, 60, 70 quid a bottle. That sort of mark, sort of rums that we were trying, but it just absolutely blew my mind. There's this kind of. I don't like to use the word, but there's this kind of sweetness to sugarcane rum that you just don't get with, I don't know, with other rums, with Guyana rums, with Barbados rums, with Jamaican rums. It's because of that sugarcane juice. Bearing in mind, they are unsweetened. They're completely unsweetened, except for obviously for the orange. Of course, that's got sugar added to it. But yeah, it's just blown my mind. So I'm just here to hang out now with you guys, and we can chat more Agricole. We can do whatever. Katie, there was something I've seen you've joined Discord, Katie. I will put you in the members area later when I come off. We'll sort all that out. And I'll also chat to you about it. It's just something I've had in my little brain as well when I saw a comment from there. So Katie, I'll catch up with. Oh, you're on holiday, aren't you? I'll catch up with you when you're back from holiday. But yeah, honestly, that's. I think I need 5 minutes just to kind of get my head around all that, if you know what I mean. It's just blown my mind. And the numbers that are on tonight as well, I can see it was a subject that's kind of, people are just kind of, wow, going on. So let's go back through some of these comments. So Ash was brilliant. So I first met Ash after COVID. I forget when it was now. But instantly she was just like knowledge bombs, absolute knowledge bombs. So I knew tonight was going to be an awesome night. They don't call her the Queen of Agricole for nothing. Or how do you say I forgot how you say it now. I'll have to watch this back. So yeah. The question is Katie still here? Was it better than Katie, or was it not as good as Katie? Here we go. David, I saw a comment from you up there. I think it was you. I'm not sure whether I'm imagining this. It's ages ago. But did you say you preferred Agricole now, these Agricoles, to some of the rums that you've already tried? That's interesting. Karen, I know I did see your name sort of scroll through quickly. I'd love to, Karen and Pam, and Scott, to be fair. You guys that just sort of started to get into sipping rums, I would love to, I'll go back through these comments after the live, but I'd love to see your kind of take on this, because this, I've had this ever since I went down this rum journey. that bottle to be precise. I've had that bottle, and I just finished. You know, they sent me this bottle. I finished that up, sent that to you, and then started on that one. But, you know, I've not given that the love at all, and that is just such an easy. Yes, that one. Such an easy sipping. And now, see, this is what I'd like your opinions on as well. This select barrel, I totally think. I don't want to say, I don't want this to be disrespectful, but I totally think that's a decent entry level sipping rum for newbies. Really do. Normally, I'd kind of, well, there's so many, you know, you kind of do like Chairman's Reserve, you do Mount Gay, Eclipse, Appleton, whatever the hell it's called, Appleton Signature. But you know what? That's all right. It's probably a couple of quid more expensive, but that's pretty decent. So where do we get to? I'm coming back now through these. We're catching up with time. Brilliant guest, Steve. Cheers, Tom. Hang on. Whoopsie. Oh, I've put the wrong one on screen. That's not what the one I was this one. Right. It's funny that the one I like the most I own, but I always overlook it. So Claire, well, I've probably just missed it. But which one did you like the most? Was it the cane blue or was it the select barrel? I'll probably find that in a couple of minutes. Sorry. Mark, the cane blue. Cane blue was by far my favourite, even over the SB40, which I did like. Yeah, it's bonkers, isn't it? Geraint's absolutely loving this now, isn't he? The Discord thread, what do we call it? Have we got a sugar? Have we got a rum? What do we call it? What are the string? Agricole and Clarence. That's just going to explode after tonight. We're going to be in there. Steve-O. Okay, sometimes one is easily lost. Click the thumbs up. Yes. Thank you, Strike F16 Falcon. Boom, boom, boom. Click the thumbs up. Right. Tom, mix them all today. I think we should do the I'm not sure whether to do the Stratford soda test or not on these, to be honest. Well, I think we should. Let's have a vote. Should we do the Stratford soda mixer test with these or not? I've got bottles in the fridge. If you wanna know how these work with Stratford sodas, I shall do that. Tonight was great for knowledge. Learned a lot more. It was awesome, wasn't it? Tom. Potato the first. I like this. Who are you, Potato? Oh, yeah. Who are you, Potato the first? Thanks for coming. Who are you? It's hard to find information about rum agricole that isn't written in French. Yeah. Ah, there it is. Orge. Is that it? Orge. Thanks. Right. Or I'm sure she went posh, didn't she? She went Orgeat, didn't she? Was it Orge? Orgeat. Yeah. Hang on. Orgeat. I need to write that on the bottle. Right. I just got you drunk, Steve. Oh, Katie, you were better in other ways. You perhaps didn't come with the knowledge bombs that Ash did, but you were better in other ways. Right, Big G is the man to go through for agricole. So right, here we go. See, this is the interesting. Right, this is how come I can drink this neat but not normal rum? See, I don't know. I'm not the best one. I can guess, and I think Geraint will probably already pit me to this because this was what's the time? 4 minutes ago. I can guess because I've tried. I don't know now. I've tried 20 odd agricoles now. St James. Is it St James? I forget what they're called now. St James, Trois Rivières, Clement JM Rum or Rhum JM, whichever. I can only surmise that because sugarcane juice has got this inherent, I don't want to say sweetness because it's not sweetness, but this inherent kind of different mouthfeel, different texture, different, I don't know how to describe it without saying sweeter, because it's not sweeter because there's no sugar, but I can only guess it's that because I was blown away by how easy it is to drink. Even the aged stuff, you know, it's just kind of melts in your mouth. It is absolutely delicious. I still don't, you know, I'm fascinated by the category now. Absolutely fascinated. I still don't, you know, I'm not going to go. I might do personally, but you know, I'm not going to take Agricole's up to 100, 150 quid a bottle like Geraint would do. He knows the category inside out. You know, that's all he's been drinking. But I want to explore Agricole's sugarcane juice rums now under 50 quid. I would love to kind of find that little niche. I'm not sure how many there are, and how decent they'll be. But all these, I'm not sure about the cane bleue. I think all these should be under 50 quid. I'm pretty sure they should be. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm sure it is, because that's the non-vintage. I think that's roughly about 35, if I remember rightly, but I don't know. So I'd love to do a little bit of exploring under 50 quid for Agricole. That will be interesting for me. Hang on, what's that? You could give SB to Scotch folk and they'd like it. Yeah. Right, Geraint. Yeah, see, he's probably summed it up a lot better than I have. Agricole is just so different from Molasses. So much more variety. Sorry, Katie. Oh, we love Katie. We love Katie. And Dan. Sorry, Dan. Dan, you need to get... Dan, push you off the keyboard. Dan, where's Dan Stratford? We want to see Dan Stratford on here. Right. Pam. Family called me away. From what I saw, she was a fantastic guest. Got me interested in trying Agricole. Certainly didn't have the tasters, so couldn't join in. Oh, this... Hang on. Right. Oh, right. So, hang on. So, Geraint's Big G's just put so much more variety. Lee's put more for why. Here's an interesting debate to watch pan out. Why is there... I think I get Geraint's point, but I think I also get Ganimel's point. Like when you look at it, like Geraint brought this up. When you look at my back bar, right? Let's take that one bottle out. Look, ignoring that, all that is molasses. All right, St. Lucia has got a tiny bit of cane juice in it as well, and there might be cane juice in. There'll be a tiny bit of cane juice in that. But everything else in there is molasses. So when you look at that, when you look at variety, when you look at what people would buy and the brands that are out there, it is pretty much molasses dominated. But when you know, well, yeah, I don't know. When you know what you're looking for, I'll be interested in looking at the whole Clement range under. Well, even I think, you know, I do sort of niche down under 50 quid, but I think if you pushed it to sort of 60, I don't want to sort of up the limit of the channel, but I think if you went to sort of 60, I'm sure some of the VSOPs that I've seen are about 55, 60 quid. And there's quite a few of them, sort of the aged stuff. So yeah, be interesting. Claire, SB, Select Barrel's my favourite. I overlooked that. Right, completely get that. Which one's? Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's the orange. Woo! I love that orange. That orange. That's going to be a fascinating Mai Tai video now with that. Katie, Steve, got you drunk more like it. I didn't get Katie drunk. I think Katie just took herself down, to be fair. Do Stratford citrus only. I think it'll be wonderful with the 50. Right, okay. Good talk. I'm gonna get the little doodah out in a minute. Oh, Potato the First. Been a lurker that's been watching for 6 months. Hello, Potato the First. Just give us, because you know what I'm like. You definitely know what I'm like with names. I'm just going to call you Spud for short. So if you don't want to be called Spud, just give us a name or a location at the very least. Where are you? Right, Tom. I like these long comments. Gives me something to read. I liked the Agricole. It's great, just not as... and just not as wildly different to molasses as I was expecting. Different, distinguishable, but I feel like it's made out that you can't have them in the same room. Totally agree. Totally agree. There is this, I wish I could remember what brand it is. There is this one brand that really did put me off Agricole. I'd love to find out what it was, because I just avoided it. It wasn't Clement, it wasn't Rhum JM. It was just horrid. You smelt it as soon as you walked into the room. And it just will show. Sorry, yeah, and that smell was enough to put you off. I haven't seen much of Windy here tonight. Is Windy? Has Windy's opinions changed? I don't know. I want to Windy. I want to hear from Windy now. I don't know whether he's in the Discord, whether he's having banter in there. It's great, just not as wildly different. We have cachaça. Cachaça. Never tried them in Agricole. Right, here we go. Come back to your experiment. What you like is the sugar. Yeah, Agricole has no added sugar, but because it's made from... Right, there we go. See, Garite's just explained it in like 2 sentences, what I sort of took 5 minutes to. Agricole has no added sugar, but because it's made from cane juice, it has more sugar flavour. I'm sure that should say. The blue and citrus, you guys. Yes. So this, I'm going to, I think we kind of need to work up to it a little bit. I still think on today's tasting, I think the Renegade maybe still a touch too far for some of you. I don't know, but basically what Renegade is, Renegade, they have, I think they might have just added a 4th one, but they've got 3, but the 2 to look out for, they've got exactly the same juice, exactly the same, and it is sugarcane juice, but one is pot stilled. So basically they take the same juice, ferment, all that malarkey. One is pot stilled and one is column stilled. And oh my God, the difference between just what the still does is astronomical. Just off exactly the same. So everything about it is the same. Rested for the same amount of time, fermented, so rested after distillation, but then fermented and all that. They just split the juice and half of it goes into a pot still, half of it goes into a column still. So they have Renegade pot still and Renegade column still. And just to taste the difference between the 2 is just unbelievable. Just what the differences still can make. So yeah, I think we need to. I think we'll work up to that. Maybe just after Christmas, maybe January time could be a good one to do that. Trevor, bar spoon of or for you spell or jar wrong, Trevor. or jar. That's your pineapple and Stoney's bitters. On that, definitely. Yeah, do citrus. Right, I'm just gonna catch up with these comments, and then I'm gonna do the Stratford soda test. Dan is back now. Oh, what's this? Dan is back now. He says, I've been working. Hi, Steve and everyone. Hello, Dan. He's been working. Katie, why have you not been working? Katie's been like, I've been packing, you know. Right. For anyone's that not... Yes. Well said. Well said. Well said. Where's my graphic? This one. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. And that should come... Oh, no. Join my Discord. Buy my stuff. Well, no, you can join the Discord, but you have to buy my stuff to get involved in the tasting. 226 results for Agricole. Right, Tom, now, if you're on it, now narrow that down to go 60, because I know some of the VSOPs are 55-ish quid. So go narrow it down to sort of do them in price order and see how many Agricoles are under sort of 60. Maybe have a look at what they might be like 61, 62 quid, but some of the VSOPs, I just want to sort of see kind of how many there are at this channel level, if you know what I mean. Right, potato the first, and from Belgium. Hello from Belgium. Wow, we collect all these people. I love this. Greetings in Belgium. I love this. Anne has Rhum J. Is it Rhum JM or is it JM Rhum? It's Rhum JM, isn't it? Rhum JM VSOP. A lot neat. No, but you have to spell it. You have to spell it phonetically so I can say it properly. Because I'm just going to say orgie. Grant, how do you tell? Who said that? Nick. Yeah, Nick. How do you tell pot from column on the Renegades? I don't know how you tell, but believe me, there's a huge difference. It's just if you know pot still Jamaican. I know Grant's already answered this, but if you know what a Jamaican pot still smells and tastes like, then you get the gist. The pot still is just this huge funk bomb, whereas the column still is here. Bad. Do you want to come back on? I can't hear you, but you're welcome to come back on. Do you want to come back on? Nod. Yeah, right. Hang on. Ash is coming back on. I can't hear. Hang on. I have to put my headphones back in.
Sorry, I had to walk my dog.
She just messaged me in the thing, said I'm here. I just had to walk the dog. I was like, you come back on. I'm going to do. You can get involved. You can talk. You can do whatever you want. Ash, this is like the riff. I'm just have to do this for Katie. Hang on. Let me just do this. Boom. There we go. That still gives me absolutely no time to get these out of the fridge. But there we go. Right, I've got all these out of the fridge. So we love Stratford sodas. Well, I do anyway. So I kind of have to do the old Stratford soda test on these. I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. We're just piling through here. What's Trevor saying here? Agricole, Barbados, Jamaica, St. Lucia. They're all amazing rums for me. It depends on my mood. I never wanted to be pigeonholed. Woo! Oh. Can I, Ash, say something? Can we hear you?
Hello?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That is fine. Right. So the Stratford soda test. We're going for this. I'm not sure I want to get the hedgerow. I think I might give the hedgerow a miss for this one. I'm not convinced the hedgerow. Maybe the spiced, but definitely the citrus.
Yeah, citrus and spice worked really well. Yeah, spice.
Wow. Okay.
Definitely.
I'll take that back then. We'll do that. So we'll go for the 50 as we would do, and the cane. Oh, I need 2 more glasses, don't I? Where's all my glasses gone? Get my daiquiri glasses out of the way. You lot are bad influences. So if you've got any more questions for, there we go. You can.
Oh, here we go. Can you mix SB with Coke? Would it kill the wood? No, the wood would be there. Again, when you're working Agricole into cola, it can be a bit different. So I would suggest maybe do 2 squeezes of lime instead of 1, just to balance out those Agricole notes. But the wood would still come through for sure.
Wow, there you go. Agricole bottles.
Oh, any questions that I've missed? Apologies, the dog needed a pee break. So he's been very patient.
What dog have you? I've seen your dog. What is it? It's
well, I like a challenge in life, so I got myself an American Bully. He basically looks like a red-nosed pit bull. So I should have got a cockapoo, really.
He's kind of like light. Is it light grey or light brown?
Yeah, he's like light fawn is what they call him. He's basically
fawn.
Blonde.
There we go.
Yeah, he's blonde, green, yellow eyes, which kind of matches his coat, and a very cute pink nose. Yeah, he's a troublemaker though. He's very difficult, but I absolutely adore him.
Right, let's go. So we're going. This is the cane blue, and this is the Blanc 50. I don't know why I'm doing the 50 because we can't get it in the UK. So, but there we go. We're just doing it.
Oh, you may as well if you've got it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, have you got any lime? Sometimes a little bit of lime as well with different soda variations is really good.
I have. A wedge or a slice? A tea punch slice or a wedge?
You can do a wedge. You can do a wedge. Yes. A tea punch is usually the. I should really start saying tea punch, shouldn't I? Tea punch.
No. Don't come down to my levels. You know,
to be honest, when I got back, I was listening to you trying to remember how I said orgeat.
Orgeat. See, I knew it wasn't orgeat or orgeat. There we go. Why? Right, I need to write a
I've
why.
been saying it like that for years, to be honest. So perhaps I should be corrected. Maybe I'm not saying it right, but I do hear people say orgeat a lot.
I do. That's why I say, because I think they just watch me and go, "Oh, it's orgeat." But you watch the Americans, some of the American YouTubers, and they say orgeat. I think
Orgeat?
it's orgeat, but pronounce the T at the end. But
yeah, I think it's maybe it's it depends on how you're feeling on the day. But I've been saying orgeat for a long time, but I'm probably going to walk away and be like, how do I say it now?
It's when you think about it, you're like, oh my god, right. That's amazing. I like that. Right, so cane blue's a winner. Wow, it's so different.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So which ones have you used? Which different sodas?
So the cane blue that side, and the 50 that side, just in the Stratford's citrus.
Brilliant. Yeah, with the citrus. Oh gosh, that's gonna be amazing.
Oh, sorry, I should have known that. There we go, Katie. I do remember. I look at the backs of the bottles and forget, so when I put them straight, they're kind of, I think that's straight, but it's not that straight. There we go. The 50, the Blanc 50 really does bring out that inherent agricole taste, but the cane blue doesn't. The cane blue is just a lovely.
Is that one a bit more floral, fruitier?
Fruitier, which is weird because the Blanc is, I find, fruitier neat.
Yeah, it's interesting how when you start mixing it, like I said, with the different syrups as well, you start pulling out different flavor notes. I think as a bartender, that's the fun part. It's a bit challenging, but then when you start mixing it around with sodas, tonics, syrups, purees, and then even blending it with other rums, that's when you just start obtaining different flavors altogether. And I think that's what's amazing about it. It's just so versatile and different.
So are you thinking the spiced? Are you thinking the spiced or the tropical? Spiced. You would think spiced.
I think try both, but I think the spice would do really well. Just maybe enhance those kind of peppery notes, or even the spice with the shrub. That could be really good.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
That
will bring out some of the Creole spices in there.
Oh, yeah. I like your thinking. So how long have you been with Spiribam now?
Well, the company in the UK has only been here for 6 months, and so I've only been there for 4.
Right,
because we've been established in the US and France and Martinique, but we've fully come independent into the UK now. Is it good?
Trevor Rose, not Trevor Rose, sorry, Kevin. That is going to be right up your street. Absolutely. The orange with the spiced, I promise you, that's amazing. Oh, I love that. A little bit sweet, but that's good. Mummy Barman's going to be all over this. You haven't met Mummy Barman yet. I'm surprised she's not been in here, to be honest, but that is stunning.
Can someone walk my Dalmatian?
Who's that? Who's got a Dalmatian? Am I hovering over it? No.
TF, aka Tom.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah, and someone else has mentioned a poodle. We've got Chris Ringo.
Bingo, yeah. He's down in Cornwall.
It's the doggos need a bit of a break as well.
All their banter's stopped now. Right.
Well, I have to say, when I first started getting all the products, and I was actually more concerned that my dog would get a hold of my rums. So today I've actually got all my rums up on the shelf. I have to usually bring them all up from the tube just in case.
Let's put Ash. Let's put Ash large screen. Hang on. Let's do that. There we go. Bouncy. See, we've got so we have just.
Oh, my TV's back up. By the way, apologies.
No, that's all right. That's all right. So you can see in the background of Ash's thing there. You can't see me because I'm tiny at the moment. Hang on, let's bring me back there. But Ash, just point to the bounty behind you.
Yeah. So bounty
so that there, boys and girls. What we've got, I think it's the 4th of October. Whatever the Sunday is, the first week, we have got bounty, and it won't be. as much as we'd love it to be Ash, I think this one's actually going to be Dave doing this one.
Dave.
And I have got one more, though I can't think what am I missing?
You got the spice, you've got the coconut, you've got the white, dark, and the gold.
There's one missing. What's missing?
Maybe...
I've got five somewhere. One.
Okay. I was going to say we have lime, but I think it's being discontinued. I'm not sure. At least in the UK, if I'm aware.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not the lime. Hang on a minute. Oh, there it is. It's right in front of me. Sorry. That one. What's that? Oh, it's
I believe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Oh, it's the white. There you go.
Yeah. So, yes, that's not released yet in my membership, but that will be Dave Manchester Rumfest. This dude. That dude, for those of you that were at Manchester Rumfest with me, that dude. Yeah, have you got one there as well? Yeah.
I was actually sipping on that last night, to be honest.
It's good, isn't it? It's good.
It's fantastic. It's
cool.
Fantastic.
Right. Cane blue spiced. I prefer the citrus. Citrus is banging.
Yeah, I think the citrus would work, but the spice can be... Have you put some lime in the spice as well?
No.
Always working a bit of lime when you get a chance.
Oh, I prefer that one actually. Right, let's have another wedge of lime.
Yeah.
Squeeze that in.
Whilst doing that, can your dog work a corkscrew out? No. He holds his own handbag. So when we go out on the weekend. Yeah.
Oh, was that your story? Yeah. I saw. Was that you? I saw some dog. I was just flicking through earlier or last night or whatever the hell it was. I was flicking through and saw this dog like walking down the street with a handbag, little tiny handbag.
Yeah.
Was that you?
He's got a beige and blue stripy handbag, and we'll go to this shop on the weekend after we've gone to the park, and we'll pick up some groceries or something for breakfast. And we decided on getting some sourdough bread, so he carried that for me on the way back home.
The lime transforms that. That's amazing.
Yeah, never forget the lime, or just a wedge of some kind of citrus. Even grapefruit works wonderfully.
I was just going to ask actually. You know, 'cause we see. I know Clement don't, but we see from a rival brand. There's these oranges. Have I said that right?
Yeah, orange.
Orange. Go on, say it.
Orange.
Oranges. Let's call them oranges. Oranges. Is it lime inherently, or do we use like grapefruit and orange and all that sort of stuff? Will orange transform these, or?
Yeah, you can. You can use orange. I mean, like the shrub. The shrub is the Creole shrub it's an orange liqueur. Lime tends to be the go-to. Like I said earlier on, it's like the holy trinity: sugar, rum, and lime. But there's nothing to say you can't whack in a bit of lemon or try grapefruit if you want a bit of finish. Again, it's all about trying to figure out different cocktails and flavors, and who's to say you can't use another citrus. Lemon has a completely different flavor to lime, but it still has a nice citrus kick.
Sorry. That's your fan club now, look.
Dave, oh god, Dave's knowledge is through the roof when it comes to St. Lucia.
He is. He's a bit grumpy though, isn't he?
Oh no. Give him a
no, we love Dave. I've known Dave for quite a few years. We love Dave. We love Dave.
He's a sweetheart, and honestly, his knowledge for St. Lucia distillers, very much like myself, is with the Agricole and the Clement. He's very much our go-to for anything when it comes to those rums. So honestly, stay tuned because he's going to educate you probably far more than I have today.
I behave. Did you see the comments when you were? I know you heard me about the orgeat. He said they're all having a loving about you.
Thanks. I'll just have a little gander now.
Yeah. Scroll back. If I think they should be there. I'm assuming that software works like that. But if you scroll back, they've called you the best one yet.
No way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a low bar though. No, I'm joking. Hang on. When I'm out of my when she says pile, I'm assuming Katie's talking about her. I've probably missed something here.
No, run out of colours.
I'm assuming I've missed a comment. So Katie does these. If I got one to hand, I'm sure. Yeah, I have. Hang on, I've got two to hand. No, yeah, I've got one to hand. So Katie does. Did you see these at Manchester Rumfest? Hang on, let's get. I'm not sure
actually
which.
had them. I had a case because I was using them with our Mauritius. Yes, we had a case of them, and we were mixing them with our arranges from Mauritius, our cane range. But I
so
didn't
we
do
need
this.
to.
I love this.
Yeah, so we need to kind of displace a couple of rums there, don't we? I think this might be version 1. I don't think this is version 2. I think version.
Yeah, I'm just looking at
I can't. Oh, sorry. I was hang on. Where we go? Let's go citrus. Let's go citrus first. So we need to displace Havana Club. We get rid of Havana Club, can't we? Jesus. Get rid of them. Which one do you want to look at now? Tropical? John Paul Jones, wherever the hell John. Hang on, that way.
Okay, Rockstar, Old Mother Hunt. I haven't seen any Agricole. Have I missed any?
No, we haven't. I think that's what Katie's saying. I think she needs to get involved.
So
I think there needs to be
reprint.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a whole Spiribam.
I think for the citrus, we could definitely whack in an Agricole there.
Yeah, there needs to be a whole Spiribam Stratford soda chat.
I like this.
Let's make it happen.
So my grandmother would never drink Agricole neat. For her, it was always a touch of orange juice. Okay, great. Yeah, but still citrus. You know, whacking it, like I said, if you want more of a bitter finish, go in with grapefruit. I mean, if you want to play around kumquats, you know, you've got all sorts of different citrus there that you can work with. You can even do, we could do like a syrup or lime syrups, or not even just syrups, like there you go. Fantastic. If you peel, lime is actually the hardest to yield, but if you take an orange peel or grapefruit peel, lemon peel, just peel a load of them, whack them in a bowl, add some sugar, and then leave it to sit in a warm area. It will literally extract all the natural essential oils, and you'll get an essential oil syrup, and it's phenomenal. And that would work wonderfully in a tiponche or in an Agricole cocktail. It still needs some juice, but it would work wonderfully.
Wow. I'm thinking more tea punches here. I kind of I want to do the tropical. I'm going to do. Hang on.
Have you mixed any yet, by the way?
Who? What? When?
Have you mixed any of them?
I mixed
any of the expressions together?
No. Oh my God, no. What's going on?
Well,
right,
let's
talk me through
the
something.
sodas and then we'll go.
Oh my God, this is getting a bit crazy now. Right, okay. Mixing together like orange and something that you mean? Right, okay. Jesus.
We could add a bit more vegetation, the select barrel, the shrub with the cane bleue. Then you can add some of the different, maybe the citrus soda as well.
Wow. Okay, I like where this is headed. Right, I'm just going to do a little bit of cane bleue. I don't know why I've got a big glass. There we go. Tropical. I like your. Is that a wine glass? Is that or a big a big rum glass?
Yeah, well,
I like that.
No, it's basically you can use it for wine, a half pint of beer if you like. But it was a close.
It looks like a baby Stella glass. These little things I found.
But it's basically it's because any of the tasting glasses I have a branding on it. So I've got like a chairman's, very cute chairman's reserve one that I save. But
look at that.
It wasn't
these little things, right?
Today.
You know, Dave at Black Parrot. So we go to Black Parrot a bit, and Dave or Brady, whatever you want to call him, started cracking these out. And I was like, "Where'd you get them from?" And he started laughing. He went, "Amazon." So I just go, I think they're brilliant. I've got loads here. I think they're great for like neat spirits and all that.
Oh, they're fantastic. Yeah, because I think also they have quite a long stem, so you can position where you
I've got one of these as well. I can't like
those are fantastic. The way those are kind of just open, they open up on the tip, so that really allows the aroma to come through. Mine, unfortunately, is quite big, so I've got to re-whack my nose in there.
Oh, that's really good as well. That was the cane bleue in the tropical. Hang on, let's go for the wedge of lime as well.
We have do the shrub with the cane bleue or orgeat.
Orgeat.
Tropical and pineapple and star anise bitter.
Oh yeah, Trevor. Yeah, Trevor mentioned that. Hang on, I've just done that. So bleue and tropical. Right, I've got that, so I can do that with this one. Hang on.
Yeah, that makes it. I wish I had some with me now so I could join you.
That lime just elevates the sort of the tropical is like coconut and pineapple, just elevates that sort of pineapple note in that. Kind of dulls down the coconut a little bit. That's nice. Right, hang on. Orgeat. Hang on, it's not Orgeat, is it? What is it? Orgeat. Orgeat. There we go. Jesus. Orgeat, Orgeat. That's the fourth way. Orgeat. Bloody hell. Right.
I'm actually going to do mine with a sorrel fish. In fact, while I do that, I'm going to. Where did I put all of this stuff?
So, on a scale of, bearing in mind your sorrel syrup, what do you call it? Sorrel syrup?
Hibiscus, yeah.
Syrup. On a scale of 1 to 10, and we can slag off Monin because I do a lot with Monin. I've got good banter going on with Monin.
I love Monin, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm filming with Jess on, and I don't know who else should be doing it, but on Thursday, definitely Jess. We're filming Christmas. We're filming Christmas on Thursday.
Yay!
Right.
We actually all went down to the Monin office. It was absolutely fantastic. That's actually where I managed to get the French flower, which I'm so in love with. The differences, right, between mine and the Monin.
I was going to say, so bearing in mind, so yours would be a 10 out of 10, obviously. Yeah. So where would you put Monin's hibiscus? Would you kind of put it at a 5? Does it reach a 5 or is it like a 3?
No, I think it's above that. I mean, we have to consider the fact that in the Caribbean, people make their own, and that's where the variation of spices differ. So with the Monin, it is less on the botanical heavy side, and it's more on the candied floral side, which there is nothing wrong with it. If anything, it allows consistency worldwide because it's obviously easier to get your hands on, especially if you haven't got the capabilities of making your own syrup. The one I make is very botanical heavy, nutmeg forward, cinnamon forward, pimento. Earlier on, I mentioned as well, different islands will have a different finish. So in Jamaica, they put loads of ginger. I put this much in my whole batch of 1 litre. They will put lots of ginger in it, and they'll use it as a cordial and add water or ginger beer. And yeah, so it's very different. It's hard to compare the two because mine is very botanical forward, whereas theirs more floral. But I think it's great that they even have that as an option because it means consistently worldwide people can access. If you have the availability of making your own, splash in all the spices you want and just see how it works out. I find going heavy on star anise works wonderfully. That just brings a whole different element, and anise or absinthe works really well with rum.
It's funny you mentioned that. So the one that I've just done this for Trevor because he's put it in capital letters now because I've been ignoring him 3 times, right? You know these because Dave does a little bit with JBE. So do you know the pineapple star anise? Yeah, that's what's just gone in there.
Honestly, it's a great mix. So the pineapple gives that wonderful tropical finish, and then the star anise it just amplifies rum. It's amazing. Sometimes if I'm doing punch or any kind of rum style drink, a couple of drops of anything absinthe or aniseed or star anise kind of finish, it really just amps it up. It's really wonderful. And I think a lot of people are a bit concerned about having anise. It's like licoricey. Like I can't stand eating licorice, but then I love a bit of absinthe.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just gonna... So what have you made there? Have you got a tea punch with your sorrel syrup?
I do. It's bloody good.
So I'm gonna slum it with Monin hibiscus.
So yeah, I put maybe 10 mils, so like a large bar spoon. I did a squeeze of lime, so maybe half a 5 ml spoon, so 5 or 2 drops, and then in with a bit of the shrub and a touch of the blanc as well.
Ooh, hang on. So what 2 rums have you got in there?
Shrub.
I've got a cane. Okay, just the normal. Right. Okay.
Yeah, go for the white.
I've got the cane. No, I've got the cane bleue. And
you can do
cane
blue, and then like a touch of the shrub to give you some orange finish, and that works really well with that hibiscus.
Right. A touch of.
Really good.
I like this. Just simple freaking cocktails. This is where we go.
Yeah, you
low.
only need a few ingredients. Obviously, at this point, if you want to like flip a daiquiri, you could, and if you want a really nice chilled drink, chilled glass, this obviously up your content of rum and a little bit of the sugar content and lime, and yeah, wonderful daiquiri as well. I think I've just gotten very used to having a tea punch.
Oh my god, that's amazing! I need lime. I need a bit of lime.
Yeah, work into lime.
A lime slivery thing in a little disc.
I said I wasn't going to drink today, but
so I know the boss calling sick tomorrow. You're working. You're on the clock. You can have tomorrow morning off.
I wish I could. I'm at the specialty and fine food fair tomorrow in Olympia.
Is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be going. That's not this week,
Monday.
is it?
Tomorrow's Monday, right? Yeah.
I'm supposed to be Monday going to that. I didn't realise that was this week. All right, I'm not going to that this year then.
I will be there tomorrow, so Monday morning. And then in the evening, I will be at Trailer Happiness for a masterclass with Denny, who's our cellar master and master blender for SLD, so signature distillers. And then Tuesday back in, but I think I'm doing the afternoon shift.
Wow. That is amazing. I love that. Hibiscus. That's another syrup I don't use that much of. I need to go down. Because we like, I know some of these guys will make their own syrups. I get that. But I'm lazy. I can't be asked. So I do like to buy in syrups. But I'm always on the hunt for the best syrups. And there is. These were at Manchester Rum Fest as well.
Also, cheers, Katie. Apparently she wasn't supposed to be drinking either.
Do you remember Witch Kings that were on the other side to you at Manchester Rum Fest?
Yeah.
So
I didn't get to try them.
So Witch Kings, they don't really publicise it too much, but they do syrups. So they do the syrups for Donna at the Craft Rum Club. So that is their hibiscus, which is sorrel syrup. That is phenomenal stuff. It's so different to that.
Have you tried
so different
them side by side, the one and in that one?
Yeah. I mean, this is unbelievable. It's just like so floral, so good. You just want to drink that.
Yeah, I love hibiscus because I think it's not many people know about it, and it's quite underrated because there isn't much knowledge behind how it actually easy it is to access. So
we were having it. So while Katie's here, actually, this is a good three-way chat to have. So so bearing in mind, so mixers. I'm on this. We all are. We're trying to get rum out there a little bit more. So I've gone down this route of obviously mixers because pubs and bars, I'm not talking cocktail bars, but bars, you get Coke, you get ginger beer. What else do you really get for rum? Rose lemonade, I think so. So Katie's got this range. We know we've got spiced. We've got Katie and Dan. Sorry, Dan. You need to get your face in here, right? So we've got ginger or spiced. We've got the tropical. We've got the citrus. We've got hedgerow. Another flavour I'll overlook is that hibiscus. Is there? I've seen the sorrel, the Carib sorrel, which was lovely. I used to love that. But is there on the black market, on the Caribbean market, is there a sorrel punch?
It's as in like a punch that's pre-made, like an RTD.
Yeah, like a highball. So like a can or whatever to add to rum.
Not that I know of, but actually Bounty does a sorrel.
Bounty
does sorrel. Yeah. I just don't think you can access it in the UK.
As in what, sorrel rum or
rum with sorrel? Yeah, so
wow.
You get coconut rum, it's hibiscus rum. So and it says sorrel on the bottle. Yeah. I just don't think you can access that one in the UK.
No.
But I really want to get my hands on it. Definitely. Because
that's interesting.
It's really Caribbean. Like it's as Caribbean can get. Rum, lime, sorrel, and ginger beer is the go-to pretty much everywhere on all islands. Even with Agricole.
Sorrel and ginger. Wow. Okay. Right. We can do that. Well, we could do an adaptation of that. SB or Blanc? What?
Both.
Half and half. Okay. I like your style. I like your style.
Go 2/3 of the select and then 1 of the Blanc.
So 1/3 of this, right? Okay.
Crazy.
So let's do that. Boom. Let's do. I like this. I like this. So 1/3 of that, 2/3 of that. So 40.
Oh yeah, I want to see
Right.
how this turns out. So I reckon it'll get slightly amplified by that white.
Yeah. So need a bit of. Let's do some hibiscus. I'm going to do 10 in there.
And yes, Katie, bring in the hibiscus because that was. Wow.
And let's put that on there. Boom. Yeah. See, that's what I mean. It's always.
You can bring the hibiscus in.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of my Jamaican friends, they will actually give me 2-litre bottles of sorrel. At this point, it's been diluted already. So when I have it syrup. I usually have it far more viscous than this. This is quite thin. I have it quite viscous so that it preserves longer. But in Jamaica, they would generally dilute it. And like I said, it's very ginger heavy. It can clear the stomach is the nicest way of putting it.
Oh, so nice. We like a bit of that.
Cleanser. So you want to watch out how much you have, especially with the ginger, with the way the Jamaicans do it. But I will receive like a big one, and it's already diluted. So then I'll add a bit of rum in there and some lime. Yeah, good.
Oh, that is so good.
I love this. Is a bit I love. I love the creative side of working with Agricole, or rums in general, and different products.
Yeah. So that is that on camera? Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's on camera. That and that. Wow.
Boom.
Interesting. And a bit of lime. Hang on. Oh, we can amplify this with a bit of lime. Hang on.
Lime, always the lime.
Yeah, forgot the lime. There we go. Cold. I like that. That's all I need to do. I've started doing a Saturday morning series, like three ingredient cocktails for rum. Essentially, they're not cocktails; they're highballs, essentially. But that definitely needs to be added, like a hibiscus sorrel kind of thing.
Have you got any tonics there as well?
I don't think so. I might have like a Mediterranean floating around.
I was going to say having a shrub and tonic is actually really good.
I've got Seckford.
I love how you come around the camera with it. It's fantastic.
Woo! I've got licks. I've got double Dutch, cucumber, and watermelon. Hang on, let me consult the fridge door. What have we got in the fridge? No,
and
I've used them all up.
Maybe some of the sodas with the tonic to take away from the heavy tonic bitterness.
Yeah. I haven't. I've got, what's this? Oh no, artisan bubbly soda water. No, I've got a distinct lack of tonic.
That's right. Whenever you get the chance, give the shrub a go.
We did Archie Streamer Tail. So I forgot what it was now. Last week? No, 2 weeks ago. I forget what it was. That with Mediterranean tonic was amazing. So yeah, the whole rum and tonic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't got any.
I saw a comment that I wanted to. Where are you? I think we had someone try the SB with Coke. Here we go, Caron. Trying the SB with Coke and some lime. I can still taste the wood, but there is a bit of smoke too. Yeah, so fantastic. So we haven't lost the wood there. I don't know if you put some extra lime in there as well, but that would also work wonderfully when you use SB with Coke.
That lime wedge has just amplified it even more. That sorrel, that's stunning.
Yeah.
Love that. Katie, getting a sorrel mixer.
Yeah, sorrel and cinnamon. Oh gosh, yeah.
And cinnamon.
Sorrel, cinnamon and star anise.
Hang on. Right, hang on. Oh, these got pineapple in it. I've not got anything plain star anise. These have got pineapple in. We'll go for the crack. We'll add a bit of pineapple to it as well, just to get the star anise. I need some star anise bitters. That's what I need. Might have to make homemade star anise bitters.
If you can get plum bitters as well.
Plum
bitters work so well with the matured and aged products. I do an old fashioned, but boom, that's the exact one I use in the bar. So I would use plum and vanilla with the oh gosh, which one was it now? It was Select Barrel. Yes, it was Select Barrel, and oh no, actually, it was another brand. That was another Agricole. But you can use a Select Barrel alongside another rum, like a sweet molasses, and then some plum, vanilla bit, and a lime twist, and an orange twist as well.
Wow, that sounds awesome. Love that. We'll get that out. Hang on, there's some decent comments coming in now, and I'm not really paying attention.
I'll catch that.
I'm still. That is one of the best. The spiced, the sort of spice notes of Katie Stratford Soda. Katie and Dan Stratford Soda. Sorry, Dan. Sorry, Dan. I'm ignoring Katie for now, and it's Dan. From Dan's Stratford Soda, the spice notes really do come out there, but there's that lovely sweetness of hibiscus coming out. Oh, that's a big shout. I don't think I've ever tried hibiscus with ginger. That's great.
Yeah, ginger hibiscus is literally the go-to.
Oh, right.
Yeah, mind blowing. Right. So we have cucumber would be amazing with 40%. Bounty sorrel was great. Yeah, I got one in the office, but it's there for display, so I can't yet open it. So I'm waiting for someone to bring me one so that I can actually try it. I know.
Trevor, I think hibiscus is much better. Is there, right, hang on, just for 2 seconds. Is there a difference between hibiscus and sorrel?
No, it's the same, just a different name.
It's the same thing. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I just wanted to clarify that. I didn't know whether hibiscus was a form of sorrel or the other way around.
No. It's just a different name for it. So you just say sorrel,
right, okay.
and it means hibiscus. It's just their name for it.
Nearly collected some hibiscus flowers in Mallorca the other week to make some syrup, which I had now. Boo.
See, that's something I haven't done. I haven't collected hibiscus fresh and dried it myself. I was in Bermuda a week ago now, and there was so much hibiscus everywhere. I wish I had collected some, but I think it would have been naughty.
Is it like why is it native to the Caribbean? Is it a tropical flower that just won't grow here, or what?
I believe so. I mean, I noticed in Martinique and St. Lucia they both had it. I guess it is because of the climate. It works, just flourishes out there. Which is why we probably just get loads of dry hibiscus coming to us.
We need to get we need to get my Cornish friends on it. We can go anything in Cornwall. Look, we've got palm trees and everything grown, so coconuts, so we can get sorrel grown in Cornwall. We'll have to get that going.
Well, actually, I believe hibiscus is the national flower of Martinique. So and it's kind of the national flower, I think, of a few islands. I might be incorrect, but I believe it is.
Interesting.
So, and Martinique is known as like the island of flowers. So.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know how to say it in French, though. I can't remember the actual French
term. So you know exactly what it is. You know exactly what it is. Right, hang on. What's this? Hedgerow kind of replaced the hibiscus. I was stubborn about him. Well, Dan, you should have put your foot down. Daniel, come on, Dan.
Maybe combine the two.
Yeah. Okay, Katie, we've had your thing now. Now you've had your little pleasure with Hedgerow. Now we can just kind of get on with the real stuff and get some hibiscus soda on the go. Come on, Dan, make it happen.
But to be honest, I think a lot of flowers work really well with Agricole. So, like I said, elderflower. I adore elderflower cordial. When I am hungover, I will literally go seeking for elderflower cordial to have with, do a virgin mojito. It's mad. I think it's something in the mint, something in the citrus, the soda, and the elderflower that just helps me. You said
tonic. Would you do like an I'm not the fever tree, the full fat stuff. Let's not talk semi-skimmed fever tree. Semi-skimmed, the refreshingly light shit. We don't want to know that. The full fat fever tree elderflower tonic. Like, have you used that in any of these? Like a rum and tonic that way?
I haven't,
no,
but I would. Yeah, I would use the unaged with that, and then obviously a very nice squeeze of lime. But that would work wonderfully. That's why I actually wanted the French elderflower from Monin. Just gifted me that, so that was really lovely of her. Because you could see that my eyes just opened. Also, pear works wonderfully they have a pear puree. Oh, that's fantastic in a tiponche. Or pomme vert liqueur, or a kind of a syrup as well. It's really well. So apples, pitted fruits, apricot, peach. Oh, peach and agricole work wonderfully.
I think I touched on the question, but I don't think I actually asked it. It's a damiso, whatever you want to call it, however that's said properly. Damiso, damoiseau. They did a whole oranges.
Yes.
So, and I've heard I was going, what are they called? Vellier are releasing their oranges as well. From, I don't know what their brand is. I don't know who Vellier actually own or are working with. Clement, have they not got, or are they not doing oranges? Is that?
We actually don't. We have a lot more different kind of tropical variations and liqueurs out in Martinique, but you wouldn't be able to access that here. Orange, from what I'm aware, we don't have. But if you do go to the island of Martinique, you literally see grandma on the road with her own bottles, and they would pan fry, do like a banana flambe, and they'll steep that inside rum, maybe a bit of cane syrup, or melon, cantaloupe. Oh, the best one I ever had came from, I'm sure, someone's grandmother in a market in Le François, and they used cantaloupe. Phenomenal. And it just sits there for like a month. Very, very simple to make an arrangé. You just leave the fruit to do its thing, and the riper the fruit, the sweeter, the tastier it's going to be. It's very dangerous. Fantastic as a tiponche daiquiri, even probably better as a daiquiri. Yeah, they're very dangerous. I actually wish we did an arrangé range, but we actually have one with our Mauritius company, so the Arcane, and that range comes from Gray's Distillery in Mauritius, and we have banana flambe, pineapple roti, and bourbon vanille, which is bourbon vanilla, and those are also remarkable.
I've been looking at the Arcane, but again, and this is really bad. I'm really, really sorry, and we've apologised to the guys at Lazy Dog as well. But I looked at the Arcane, and because of the bottle, I kind of bypassed it, if you know what I mean. Didn't really give it the attention. That's Mauritius rum?
It is indeed. Yeah, it comes from Gray's Distillery, so up in Pamplemousse, up in the north.
Wow.
We don't own that distillery, so we actually own St. Lucia Distilleries and the Clement or Habitation de Clement, Homer Clement. So, but we don't own Gray's. So Gray's do distribute rum elsewhere with other companies, but we have the Arcane range. Now, if you look at the Extra Roma and the Delicatissimi, those ones are a bit more suave in the finish. The Arcane ones are really quite traditional, a bit more simple in regards to marketing, but it is very much, arrangé out there is more of a simple style because it's something that everyone does. And Mauritius is huge about like gastronomy. It's all about food and how they can work their alcohol into food. So the arrangé range is actually fantastic. Like if you do a crepe or a pancake, beautiful to pour over on ice cream, waffles, anything like that. That it works really, really well. Yeah, but it's great to try.
We might have to do another one of these with Arcane in the new year or something. We've got Bounty. I think my plan, although I haven't chatted to Dave about this, I think my plan we'll do Bounty. It's like the entry level to St. Lucia.
Yeah,
we'll probably because now that I've realised there's actually 5 rums under 50 quid in Chairman's Reserve range. We might try and do a Chairman's Reserve, and then we'll come back and do like Arcane or something afterwards. Because it's just phenomenal.
I think everyone who receives a sample will actually be like in love. The Arcane range is very, very special. So yeah,
I've just not
cane, by the way.
Yeah, I've just not paid attention to it. I just, it's just I saw the boss. I didn't even realise it was you guys until a social media thing the other day. I saw Dave promoting it, and that's when I put 2 and 2 together. I was like, oh, okay. I just thought it was another one of Dave's agency brands.
It's a good side by side because it's sugarcane rum as well. It's not a rum agricole, it's a sugarcane rum from Mauritius. This is where you really get to understand how other regions play around with it, and actually they get to do things that we don't. With the AOC controlling us, they get to play around remarkably because they don't have those control methods in place. So yes, it's a really good kind of way of having them side by side.
I don't know whether you know or not. Equiano that's Grays, isn't it? Is there more than one
I think
distillery
so.
on Mauritius?
I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure, but it would likely come, if it is Mauritius, it would come from Grays.
I am 90% sure it's Grays. It's definitely Mauritius, but I'm 90% sure it's Grays. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Both Equianos that I know of are Grays. So I'd not put that together. Not put two and two together. That's interesting.
Yeah. No. I wish we owned it, but there are plenty of rums out there that come from Grays.
Yeah.
Sorry, that are fantastic. The world is discovering Mauritius a bit more when it comes to the rum. So, however we can, it's great.
So there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things here. Dan, right, let me just go back to this one here, the Bants. Dan is the other half of Stratford Soda. My husband is basically his name. Oh, right, okay. I don't know who she was chatting to. Right, Dan. Steve, you've got to choose. So we had this plan. I don't know what it was. I've completely forgotten now. Like a banana soda a couple of weeks ago. The plum and fig was Katie's idea. I was a big fan of banana, right? And I thought, banana soda, that could be quite crazy. Katie, I think, was plum and fig. And now we've got hibiscus. I think, Dan, we've got to go full tilt. I think we've got to go full tilt on hibiscus or sorrel or whatever you want to call it. Sorrel with, you could chat to Ash, maybe a bit on there, but like sorrel with a bit of spice in it, I think could be, or hibiscus with a bit of spice. I think that could be belting. That's amazing. Your spiced and hibiscus syrup.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Good.
I have to say, plum and fig does sound brilliant. That does sound very, very good. But definitely go hibiscus.
I love Ed's plum and spiced fig and blackberry. I mean, the fig in that works really, really well in that. But it's a soda. I don't know. Yeah, I think the more chats I have, and I've had this chat with Donna at the Crime Rum Club as well. But she's Jamaican as well, and obviously, it's that whole sorrel influence, that whole hibiscus influence, and what's his face that owns Lemon. What's his name? Who owns Lemon? You know him. Beach Club.
Sham.
Sham, that's it. Sham is all about that sort of hibiscus and sorrel kind of thing as well. I think the hibiscus sorrel thing's a good angle actually for a mixer. I totally forget because in the UK we just don't think about it at all.
No, I mean to be honest, so like I said, I got my recipe from Vanessa Bolosier. She's half Martinican, half Guadeloupean, and actually she gave me some hands-on training on how to create various different cuisine, like akra, which is like a saltfish fritter, boquette, which is renowned in Guadeloupe. It's a style of bread that they fill with loads of goodness. And she actually has a recipe in her book called Creole Kitchen. It's a great, really authentic cookbook. So if you want to learn some wonderful cuisine, see how she also uses Rhum Agricole in some of her cuisine as well. She does that, but she has a sorrel recipe on there, which is definitely worth checking out.
Wow. Okay, interesting. I might find that and put links out in Discord and all that. Look, it's 10:30. I think I'm going to call it a night there because I'm actually filming at Drink Stuff tomorrow, which is a bit. I don't normally go in on Monday, so it's normally a Wednesday or Thursday. So I've got to be up early doors tomorrow anyway. Ash, thank you again for coming back on. It's been phenomenal, and I'd love playing about as well. These mixes playing about. There's been some absolute blinders there with that. So much fun to be had. I need to get some more. I need to go more down this agricole, the sugarcane juice route.
Yes.
We will 100% have you. Would you do Arcane? Is that you? Do you know Arcane? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we'll get Bounty out of the way because that's not until October, and then we'll see. We'll get Arcane. We'll chat. We'll do Arcane as well. How many Arcanes are there? 2, 3.
Oh, so we have Extra Roma, Delicatissimi, 3 of the Arcanes. So that's 5, and then there is one that I think is going to finish, and that actually has a wild cherry cask, flamboyance. If you can get your hands on that.
What a wild cherry cask?
Yeah, I won't go into too much detail, but wild cherry cask. Honestly, we had it during the rum show with the whiskey rum show, TWE, and that was brilliant because everyone got to try it, but it's limited edition. So if you can get hands on flamboyance, it has a wild cherry cask finish.
Wow.
And sugarcane rum.
Wow. Crazy.
Yes.
So look, I'm going to call it quits there. Thank you so much. I think all the love's going to pour in again there. There you go. Let's just put that on. That's going to echo everything from tonight. Ash, you've been phenomenal tonight. Absolutely phenomenal. I love this. The whole bartender side with the whole knowledge bomb side has been brilliant. That's what we need. There needs more people like you in the industry. I know Dave will be the same as well. But genius. Thank you. Honestly, thank you so much for tonight. We've had fun. For you guys, I will quickly chat to you in the Discord afterwards. But I am up early doors in the morning. Trevor's, apparently we're calling for the after party in the Discord and all that. So I'll pop my head in there for a couple of minutes. But thank you so much for tuning in. Big numbers at the start of this. It'll be interesting to see how many actually people tuned in. But yeah, awesome. So I'll email you data, Ash, so you can show it to the bosses. So you can see how many people know that. But all right, thank you very much. Been a great night. A happy Sunday night, and I will see you all